You were talking about having GRC on the cloud installation, right? So is it practical? Let's say, suppose your source system is either ECC or S/4HANA. So you can have GRC on a cloud, on a private cloud or a public cloud separately.
No, there is difference. There is difference, Krishna. So having DRC on cloud, or you want the DRCC service, DRC Cloud Edition, there is a service on cloud. So in BTP, there is a service DRC cloud. So that's there. And there is also product DRC on public cloud. So you're talking about the service, right, on BTP?
No, BTP service is there anyway. You have to have that to go out from your ECC, S/4HANA, or any other DRC system. From there to get out of your network to go to PayPal or any other tax authorities, you have to have BTP. BTP is there anyway. Leave that aside. That is service regardless of your host installation. You have ECC as a source system or S/4HANA. BTP is there in the mixture. The question is only about DRC being outside of your source system. Your source system is the ERP, right? Either ECC or S/4HANA, correct?
Yes.
Regardless of what the installation it is, on-prem or HAC or public cloud.
Yeah. So there means years ago, so there was a very lean version of DRC in the cloud. So they used to have, especially for statutory reporting, where what I know is there was a very lean version, and there is RDP. They call it as some like one version just created for plastic tax. So some countries, they have a regulation for if the number of items that you are using, like say a manufacturing company. So whatever you manufacture, what is the total amount of plastic item you use, and they used to charge them, or they used to tax them accordingly. So
it's like a EHF, right? Environmental waste recycle fee. If you are electronic good, you have to pay like a EHF for the recycle fee. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So for that scenario, they had created a very lean version of DRC statutory reporting on cloud, which is not much used. There are 11-12 reports specifically used, but not like complete DRC is there on cloud.
Okay.
And then again, complete different version is the whole public cloud story, right? So outside ERP, no, there is, but a very lean version.
Oh, okay. But then what is the DRC, the public cloud version right now, which you said most of the functionality, the compliance tools and whatever, those are not there as part of your in-house DRC, what you get with it. But on the public cloud or SAP Cloud DRC version, you have all the compliance tools available, right? What version of the DRC is?
So public cloud is all total a different model where everything, like as a end user.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. Actually, not just only DRC, but even the whole source ERP itself is on the cloud.
Yes, it's there on
makes
cloud.
Sense.
So
makes sense. That time there is no separation, right? Everything is self-contained.
Yes.
You're on the cloud, one container, and you have your transactional system, which is ERP, and also your DRC is actually coexisting on the same cloud.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So when Rami asked us, just from an architecture point of view, how does it work? Because most of your transactional tables, all the transactions what you create for e-invoicing or even complaint, they exist in your source system, whether it's ECC or S/4HANA or whatever, right? You cannot transfer all of those, millions of transactions into a cloud unless you're already in a cloud.
You don't have to, right? You're only transferring electronic invoice data. You're not transferring all the transactions in there.
Right. Okay. So DRC as a standalone cloud version doesn't exist actually. It exists if you are on a cloud with your source system itself.
Yes, a lean version do exist. A lean version do exist in BTP that I said. It's for RDP, some plastic tags, very 11-12 reports for sustainability. So you can just think it as a small version. Then because it's more strategic, what happened earlier was SAP wanted to bring customers to S/4HANA. They used to be very aggressive on things should not go out of S/4HANA. And like, for example, they also were not open to external data, and still till now they are not open. So there are scenarios in different countries. I was going through a report filing for Italy where there are 100 or 110 pages specifically for all the veterinary things, the animals and whatnot. And this is not the data that resides in ERP or S4HANA. This is something which person has to fill manually and then check. So they were doing it with a third party tool and they wanted to bring this functionality inside DRC. So then the architects and everybody in S4HANA were not open to these kind of things because they just want it to be a very single source of truth kind of feature where at least the trust is there. If we open it for external data, the trust factor that at least the client, customer, and the authorities have again dilutes.
Okay. That is why there is no interface for external source systems to feed into the DRC actually, other than the CFIN, the one that we talked about early on, correct? Right? That could be another reason.
So CFIN is also kind of a consolidated system. It wouldn't happen real time. So once your system, you have data, then it will kind of consolidate and then you can do things. So it's kind of a consolidation system.
In other words, basically, intentionally they shut down the inward gateway where you can ingest the non-SAP data into the DRC. That is what you are trying to say, correct? Intentionally they didn't allow it.
Yes. Yes, it's intentional. That's why they have this architecture. They have strategic reason behind.
Even to some of the clients where they have different SAP systems, or different regions have their different systems. Whenever you have Asia, specific one system, and North America another system, and there is another ERP, that time mostly clients will go for the CFIN option. So I have an
I think into getting data into CFIN, obviously they have to have it because it's a transaction. I think what Advai is mentioning is about the DRC allowing the non-SAP source as a source system.
Yeah. Before DRC, we use ACR. ACR is one of the tools we have been using last 5 years to implement report our 1099. So
it's
when
same.
we do the cloud,
it's kind of same. Like ACR is rebranded to
DRC. But is there any cloud, non-cloud version there? Without cloud, when we are on premise, at that time we use the ACR. But then now we completely switch over to DRC. There is no. I think they change the name.
Yes, and that's a cloud, the lean version I was just explaining to Krishna.
Okay.
It used to exist for RDP.
Right.
RDP is the lean version?
On cloud, yes. Now I think 11 or 12 reports only run there, no maintenance, so still just hanging around there.
RDP, okay.
But in general, the solution actually looked like it scaled up because they're promoting it. I was just looking at even the SIs were actually, they kind of like involve them, right? The PwC.
Solution is very mature. Solution is now very much mature, and the client base I was talking about, right? It's all kinds of clients globally, and many of them like Lego and even ENY. So ENY is also internally using a lot of functionalities from DRC. They are building a capability within themselves to support DRC, especially for Nordic regions. So these kind of, even though EY is more of a regulatory and audit company, which also has internal tools, but they, with their tie-ups or foot in a door, they have a lot of accelerators where they pitch DRC to get the S4HANA projects.
Yeah. They have their SAP practice is pretty sizable on the ENY. So they work in tandem with all of this. They promote it pretty big actually. Their tax practice is significant. We tied to as an SI, not as an audit or a compliance sort of it. Only ERP driven tax practice itself is pretty sizable.
Okay. So are we going to start now? Or?
I'm good to start. I have to wait for my login.
It's restored. I have spoken to the vendor. They have restored it while you were in a discussion. So you can just refresh and you would see everything in place.
Let me check that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, your SAP access itself is not there. Now all of ours are working. At least we are able to log into the SAP system. It all worked out actually, Vineet. I mean, it's great. Whatever that you did or Utkarsh did, and it's working now.
Yep. Before end of the day, I think I saw the ticket got closed. So I think last time they asked us for a downtime, but I think now they did it at the live environment. So at least we didn't have to waste 2 days. Now we can look at the system ourselves also.
Yeah, great actually. Okay. Otherwise, sometime along the line.
Did we start Saudi? I think last half an hour I was not there in the call during our user ID password setup, SAP setup. But did we do anything last half an hour yesterday? Maybe can you do recap of what we did? Last half an hour or 1 hour before starting?
We didn't do last. We didn't do anything, Krishna.
No.
Mostly it is the general discussion.
No. Yeah. We were discussing how to sort out this security access for the environment.
Right? I think I was not there around 30 minutes, 40 minutes time.
Yeah. Nothing happened. We wrapped up the call.
Okay. So for Belgium, how do you want to do? Do you want to do hands-on all the scenarios that are mentioned in the document end-to-end? Do you want to try out in the training system to get a feel of things? Since now you all have access, we have anyway completed Belgium from the coverage point of view. Or do you want to finish?
Steps are done in the training system, right?
Yeah.
Major configuration steps are done.
That's done, but you can go through them. You can also try out an end-to-end scenario, trying to create, because Belgium company code is there, so you can create a billing document, see it running through eDoc.
We cannot do practice for the configuration point of view, just only end user point of view. We can create a couple of invoices and we can test it. That's only can do at this moment.
But in real systems also, when your systems are up, you do not have to manually configure everything. You just need to know what is where, because SAP provides for few things you need to add that I covered. So you just need to go one by one to all these things, see, visualize, and then try out and maybe at least link how do it connect.
Okay. Troubleshooting or something, maybe in my system, I create a couple of invoices not coming. Maybe something is missing. We have to go through all the things. But yeah, maybe we can start Belgium in the training system.
At least, that will give you at least hang of things, how things look inside the system, where is the configuration, what it means. Because if you go through training guide individual steps, at least in the training guide, all steps are mentioned. So you can at least go through them, try out. There is a scenario which I have mentioned, end-to-end scenario. At least try to create those scenarios and see whether at least one flow, if you go through Belgium, then we will have one flow for Italy that would be more easily understood, and Korea, because configurations would anyway repeat. So if you get good hands-on now, the further sessions would be more easy to understand, and you will get it more insights of reasoning of why we do it.
Okay. I created one FB70. FB70 also will work for the FI_invoice eDoc type which we assigned.
Yeah, so those are standard. Yeah.
The Krishna, Omnish, if any of you can share your screen and we can quickly walk through that one end-to-end scenario. Is it?
Which one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Open the test environment, the training environment. Yeah, training environment. In our system, we can't do it because Belgium configurations are not activated.
Right.
So I'm just getting in. Yes, I was able to log in, but I'll have to check whether I'll be able to. Let me just check. Yes, I have access.
Just one quick pointer. Look like the portal access, the Fiori access is actually not working. Can somebody try Moody's? In Moody's?
Portal access is not working?
That's the vendor told, I guess. The vendor mentioned that. I think that the Fiori will still not work. I don't know with this port. The last communication, what he was mentioning was without white, but with whitelisting, it should work, right? I'm not sure.
I think if you don't have that, probably I think some access won't work, right? Correct? Some apps probably won't work.
Well, at least basic scenario will work. We can look it into the eDocument cockpit inside S4, but may not be in managed manage manage eDocument that app. That we will not be able to.
Okay, let me share. We can see some of the, we can create some documents, right? For example, let us take one B70 straightforward invoice, right? So now I have to go to the Fury version. FLP. So you are saying now the Fury version
is not working. We have to do
No, it won't work.
Going?
It won't work.
Then in that case, even if you create an entry, it won't help us, right?
No, create it. We can look at it in the cockpit, right? I mean, if the document is there, you can create it still.
Cockpit in the version, in the GUI version?
Yeah. Cockpit is there in the GUI version. You should be able to see it.
Okay, let us create a quick thing here.
You can directly go there, eDoc_cockpit.
I'm checking quickly one thing here. Country. So Belgium, we configured everything in the training system, right?
Yes, most of the things were there. So all the basics things for Belgium is there. Not the people side where you can send and through the BTP and SAP Cloud Edition. That part is vendor has not given us. But at least from the system perspective, triggering at least till summit, it is there.
Here, company code Belgium.
B01, I think.
B107.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us post one document. If I post a finance document and see whether that finance document is full link quickly. Okay.
And we had a discussion about creating a eDoc based on FI document and also based on a billing document. Maybe it's a good idea to post a, VF01 document also, a billing document, just to see how those two behave.
Yeah, that also. Yeah, we can try that also.
And there was a parking lot question which I could get answered from the experts. There was a question in the first or the second session where from the incoming invoice or incoming eDocument can a subsequent source document or AP payables can be created. It cannot be created. Why? The reason being that the eDocument will have very limited information to create a subsequent source document, and also as per process, it's not there. It's a government regulation that is it's meeting for that, not for creating a subsequent source document. So that is the two reason being no source document is subsequently created in the system.
Okay. So you cannot do it.
No, but then how do we link? Then let's say if we enter the invoice ourselves, then how do we pull that information for DRC? Because anyways, from inflow perspective also, we have to send the fee to the authorities, correct? For the invoice that we are paying.
I didn't get it. You mean outgoing invoices that are out?
I'll tell you. So not sure about other countries, but for Korea, as of now, because we haven't set up billing in SAP, but whatever invoices that we pay, vendor invoice that we pay, we basically extract the data and send it to NTS through another ESP called DotCom. So in Korea, there are primarily two ESP, DotCom and Business On, their product called a Smart Bill. So we as of now we are using DotCom, but we have to change to Smart Bill because DotCom does not support SAP. Okay, so Smart Bill support SAP, and it is also supported by DRC Cloud, DRC implementation. It's a SAP certified platform. That's why we are moving to that one. But in our current system, whatever AP payment that we are doing, we created a custom interface. We wrote a custom interface, and we are sending out that particular details from SAP to NTS through DotCom. Okay, and in our earlier system, in PeopleSoft, in Oracle PeopleSoft, at that particular amount of time, we were sending both. Okay, we were not reconciling it because we were not getting any reverse feed. probably courier team probably would be doing some isolated process in there, but we were sending both the feed. When we generate the vendor invoice and when we pay, we send that data to DoZone, and then when we create the bill invoice, we create that info. We send that information also to authority. Okay, so we are sending basically both set of information, payable and billing. So I'm just thinking from that perspective. When we implement DRC, we have the capability to pull that information. Then when we do the AP payment, how do we match that particular piece? Is what my question is.
So what I understood from the expert is somewhere in the Miro, you have a link to just mention which eDocument is part of that subsequent AP document. So there is some linkage while you create Miro document is what he mentioned. So I'm not that expert in that area, but I also asked him the same, where do we find the linkage? He told that the linkage can be maintained in Miro transaction.
Miro
happens only when there is a material is involved, right? As let's say if there is an expense invoice, right? An AP invoice where there is no material movement involved, there is no Miro. So how does it link? Yeah. How does the link
maybe
happen?
The subsequent transaction which would be there, like for Miro he mentioned, but subsequently if there is a specific transaction for the use case that you have mentioned, maybe there would be some transactions which similar to Miro.
Yeah, probably it would be, right? Miro makes sense only when there is a procurement tied. At least in Moody's case, most of the invoices are non-PO based, right? Vinith, actually, there's no procurement tied, at least in SAP.
100% invoice are non-PO.
Yeah, so non-PO, there is no matching and there is no material PO matching or anything like that for AP invoice because there is no material involved. There is no material moment, there is no Miro also. So then in that case, actually your AP is treated as almost like an expense invoice, right? That has to be one way or the other linked to the same equivalent process like what you are mentioning. Probably there would be, there should be able to have some traceability backward. But it kind of in a way makes sense also, taking a eDocument and creating a source AP invoice, probably it may be a stretch for DRC.
Informations would not be there, no? Like not all, it's only the information that only a very specific information that is mentioned there. So that's what the reason he gave.
Yeah, and the billing document, it makes sense because you own that, right? All of your source system data, your company code, your transactions, everything you own, that is your source. So on the AP, it is an external to you. It is coming from outside. I wonder actually, even if it is doable also, I don't know how they do it.
So some item category issues are coming in the system.
But it's a good point, actually. Good discussion point too, that you brought it up. Any other parking lot items that you're able to look through?
I think this was the one major rest I think we were able to figure out in our discussion, is what I understand. If there is still something there, then do let me know in the sheet that they have shared. Because that's what I collected from the chat on and my notes on first day. So it was one key item which was open.
Yeah, I think just this is a thought. If V70 taking some time because of all the validation, maybe you can create it on your own and we can continue on the session parallelly. When we have a document, we can come back and look at it. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, maybe a same question in different way. Adve, what are the sales orgs and what are the division distribution channels that you think are valid?
I don't know because
this is configuration.
Yeah, you have to check the
configuration. Then why there's impact to this one?
No, we'll not be able to create data. Like Krishna is struggling, or even I'm on the right side, I'm struggling.
Maybe you can take an example of the existing.
So
billing
before you enter the data, go to first the configuration, look at what is the mapping there.
Yeah.
See, you have to reverse engineer that particular problem, guys.
Correct.
Open the configuration, look at the data. See, now you have earlier you didn't had access to the system. You can complain anything, but now that you have access to the system, you have already gone through the configuration steps. Look at the data and look at which entity and what is the mapping.
Do one thing, Avnish and other you can go to eDoc_cockpit on the GUI itself. Okay. So basically, go there.
Cockpit just pulls.
No. Just hold on one sec.
Okay,
So go
I
there.
created one document here.
Go there and then pull up recent document. And basically, for Belgium, there are 23 invoices. Okay. You should be able to look out.
There are 14 contracts. 14 contracts are sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
very slow.
Yeah, there is a data is there. You can trace the data back. All the company.
Okay, now FB70 not there, but I created a one invoice. So since field is not there, we have to go with the GUI transaction code, right? And see whether this transaction is coming or not, right? That's what we need to check. Customer invoice. So what is the transaction code, Krishna, you're saying? You have already available?
eDoc_cockpit, yeah. That at least that's the cockpit. I don't know whether that's where you want it. Otherwise, that's where you want to pull the document, create eDoc from a accounting document.
The eDoc_cockpit. What is the spelling?
Cockpit, PIT.
Yeah.
You're right, actually, except F.
Yeah.
It says no document.
No, you change your period to 180 days. Yeah.
100 or 180.
By default, it is 30 days.
So there is a variant. Make it as 100 or something.
Yeah. Show recent eDocument, change it to 180 days.
Yeah. We are able to see the invoices now.
100.
Change it to 180. Then you will see Belgium has 23.
190 is working for me.
Yeah. In any days, we go back, and then you will see the invoice.
But here, just now I posted entry.
That you have to create. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
And I posted entry just now 2026, right? I don't see my document. Okay, because see here, posting date created on. I don't see my document at all here. How can I get that one? Okay. Maybe that is not.
Sorry, what question did you have?
I posted this document just now. This is the document 1800. It's customer invoice I created. So the customer debit and create some bank charges or put something, or the information.
What's the status? It's not blocked, right? No block is there in that invoice. The status is, can you?
Where can I see the status? Here, Belgium 23.
No, not here. It will come in Belgium only in this window itself. But for your invoice or document that you have posted, you had the end-to-end. I mean, it's complete, right? It's nowhere blocked. What is the end status?
No block. This is the final document posted. Like no parking, just straight away posted through FB70, the customer invoice. Shortcut. Like Abhinesh is working for the contract billing, what I posted through finance. So, is there a way to check that one? Maybe FB70 is not part of this configuration. I see here.
It should be actually. See, because both are there, right? No. If you go to the eDocument cockpit, both are there, billing document as well as the invoices, right?
Here. Country B, right? Here in the configuration points. Okay.
Here, source type for company code. So for B, we have invoice. Yes, this is there already.
I'm expecting this one supposed to get the FB70 and not getting.
One thing what we can do is go to change mode on the same screen on the cockpit itself. Go back.
1 second.
Krishna, look at a sample document in the cockpit for BE.
Exactly.
Even the completed document, and then from there we can tie back the story. What are the attributes that are missing?
Yeah. That is what my thought was.
I don't see anything in the Belgium. See here, this is I'm looking BBRK. Company code is BE01. Any sample document is there, we can take that one and contract and billing.
BE10. You tried BE10?
BE10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, BE10.
Yeah. Now you'll see the invoices.
Okay. Perfect. Billing document.
Meanwhile, Abhi, can you create a FI invoice or like a invoice?
Just I will cancel this one and create another one and see whether that's coming. I just want take one invoice, this one, and we'll cancel this one.
Actually, the invoice is blocked. That could be the reason why it didn't show up.
That's what I was mentioning at the end status.
The invoice, if you go back to the document flow.
No. This is the existing document in the system. Avnish, Krishna didn't create this document.
No, even the existing one also. Oh, okay. Even that might not have showed up actually.
Yeah, it is intentional.
Yeah,
I created FB70. FB70 is not coming. Just I'm canceling one billing document and see whether it will come here. Very slow, huh?
9,5412. Probably it should not be there. Okay.
Okay. Just now I created this one, the cancellation, right? So these are all the things. So the cancel invoice, I don't see any accounting document here. It's not created.
We might have to release manually. Yeah.
Okay. We can release manually in that case.
That's okay, but at least if you have mapped it the billing also, so this document should get pulled up in the cockpit. Try this one because the status is now completed.
Yeah, this one,
completed.
Right? This one, right? 541.
Advait, the credit note also get pulled in, correct?
At least for Belgium, if the setting is maintained, I think invoice and billing document setting is maintained. I do not see. Credit note would be for Italy, I believe. They will have different other sets. But I think for Belgium, invoice and billing document was maintained.
No, but invoice has two flavors, correct? Like you have a regular invoice and you have a credit note. So credit note should also get pulled in, or it does not.
Sure. Right.
Maybe do we see, we are expecting 5413 come here, right? Then corresponding accounting document also comes.
No. Only one, either the invoice will come or either the FI document. Both will not come.
Really?
For the same transaction. But if you just do like a direct FI entry, then the FI will come.
Okay, that's what I think we need to test that one scenario. FB70 come here because we created direct customer invoice. And in that case, billing document.
For the customer that you use, Krishna, does that customer has a VAT ID?
I take the existing one, right? Maybe take the good one here, whatever here. Let us take.
Yeah, open any of that document and use the same customer that they have used here in this document.
Maybe that may be not a good example, right? Very good point. Then master data point of view. So let us take this one, and we can.
Because I think there is a validation there, correct? Like if the
accounting document is also.
Yeah, look at the vendor. What's the vendor? The customer ID, and use that same customer.
Yeah, first we will cancel this one coming and recreate. Then we can create end-to-end.
Okay.
No billing document, then please log. Why it's not aligned. I cancel this one. Okay, cancel.
Do we copy this invoice and create a new one?
Yeah. I'm already creating a contract. Like it will
no contract. Directly invoice, no contract. Why do we need
because Yeah, contract might need additional config, right? The contract is only Moody specific. Better to create a billing.
No, they're using sales orders. From sales order, like.
Why do you need to create a sales order? Directly take invoice directly. But you use the same.
Cancel the eDocument and then cancel the.
What is that?
Yeah, this is linked to an eDocument, right? You have to
maybe we have
you have to first cancel the eDocument before you can cancel this invoice.
Exactly.
How to cancel the eDocument, Advait?
Go to eCockpit. There would be an option there.
Yeah, okay. This one here.
Yes, select any row and look at the options there available. That on this particular screen.
On the top.
Okay, on the
No. Submit display. Go to on just about this one. There would be
go to
more. Click on more. There would be an option to cancel.
Cancel eDoc. Okay.
Correct.
Cancel eDoc.
Yes. Okay, excellent. Now it's cancelled. Then system will allow us to create. This got cancelled, right? Okay, let us go back here.
Now you can cancel the invoice.
Yeah. Let us see. Excellent. Now cancel.
Do you see a challenge here?
No.
Sure.
Yeah, even I'm doing in parallel. Like, sorry.
No.
Yeah, actually, if you want to cancel a billing, then you have to do eDocument first, and then you have to go back to the
integration will fail, sir.
Yeah.
Our integration will
and system
integration
right.
fail.
So
because
sorry, Vineet, can you repeat once like what's happening at your end?
I think what we are saying. Go ahead. Sorry, I think I'll let you go.
See, our current integration pattern is upstream will send the order. We create with that order we create the contract, and then from contract we create an invoice. Okay.
Yes.
And now there is another step that will get added to that process. With that order, you will basically create an eDocument. Okay. Now,
order. So they are creating an eDocument, not from contract. That's
buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine.
Okay.
Yeah. Explore.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get boxed in. Okay. Mm-hmm. Imagine in Moody scenario. Now they send the order, you create a contract, then from contract you create an invoice, and then from that invoice you now will create a additional document called eDocument. Okay. Happy path, all fine, no problem. Okay. Now when they send out a cancellation event from upstream, what do? You cancel the order line, and with that cancellation of the order line, you first cancel the invoice and then you process the rebill.
Make the contract to zero.
Yeah. But now what will happen? As soon as you raise a cancellation, it will say that your eDocument is active. You cannot cancel the invoice.
Okay.
So
first eDoc has to be.
Exactly. So now your integration pattern has to change. You need to add an additional trigger there to cancel the eDocument. And then so you have to first cancel the eDocument, step 1, then cancel the invoice, second step, then cancel the order line, third step. So you need to add another functional module in the integration pattern to cancel the eDocument also.
Yeah. I think your cancellation process should trigger the eDoc cancellation first.
It's not showing
created, right?
Cancel.
Yeah, it came actually the first one, right? 5415.
Yes.
So
eDoc got created.
5414. I don't see here.
The first one. The first one.
First one.
See, creation date is today's date, Krishna.
No.
Today's date.
See the example here, right? I cancel this one. This is the cancel credit memo 940010. Then I recreated invoice. Then this is recreated finance document. I am expecting this one, 4 documents, right?
No.
There's at least 2 RLs, 5414. in that case.
At least you have one. You should go with it.
The cancellation one also I'm expecting 5414.
Cancellation one, Advay said that it will not come because for Belgium, credit notes are not pulled in here.
Oh, okay.
But I think first one got created, right?
This is the creation one. This is the created, but cancelled one, billing doc, this is the eDoc cancelled, right? Initially, we cancelled this one. Created, when you cancel, system creates 5414. Then the 5414 is not, credit memo is not showing, but later when you create the other invoice, 5415 is coming. This is what here, like only the final creation is coming. This part is not coming. If we want to bring, then we have to think about how we have to bring this piece.
Advay, is that a hard stop? Why cancellation, like from an eDocument perspective, we are not supposed to send the cancellation.
No.
Credit notes.
We're supposed
cancellation,
to, right?
Because after cancelling, you would want to create fresh, right? Why would you like to again send the cancelled one? There may be some issue. That's why.
But that's an idealistic scenario. You're thinking of an idealistic scenario. Let's say it was a wrong billing. You send the original invoice, and then
that would be rejected, right? If you send it, that would be
rejected by whom? If the vendor didn't acknowledge it, it will go to authorities, isn't it?
For Belgium, PayPal validations may run. I'm not sure.
Let's do Copilot. Do we need to send credit note for Belgium e-invoice?
E-invoicing, yeah.
Let's see. Do we need to send credit note for Belgium e-invoicing?
Actually, it is there, right? The 5403, the one, it shows up as a cancelled document. If you click that from the billing cockpit, 5403.
5403, if you go to the SAP, right? Here, 5403 is not linked at all here.
No, that is 5414, right? The last one.
5414, yeah, these two, yeah, correct.
Yeah, that is the one. That is the link. So it is there. 5403 is your cancelled document in eDoc, which will take you back to your cancelled document.
It's 5414.
5414 is not there.
Yeah.
5414 is there, right? No. See, this is 5403. Click on it. Right here.
Okay.
That is taking you back to 5413, right?
No, 5403 only.
Go ahead, do the document flow.
It's not 5403.
No, not that one actually. We saw 14 here, right? Right, a moment ago.
14 is here. The other billing document, not the same one. So this is the different one. Whatever we are clicking, right? This is the different one. We click this one. This is the different than the our scenario.
Hold on. Not the 5403, but 5397. Sorry, 5397. Click the 5397.
This is 5397 is here. 5397. It is there.
From the cockpit, click the 5397 and go to the trace. Actually, that point to 5414.
No, this is manually cancelled. We manually cancelled this one to create the new document, correct?
Correct.
So
this is okay.
5397, we manually cancelled it. Otherwise, I just did a quick Copilot search, and we are supposed to send credit notes also. I think some configuration is missing.
Something missing. Yeah.
Then I think if I just came back after listening. So for this, in the document type we mapped, right? If you go back to the guide where we have done mapping of different like invoice type to which document. So there we can check here if you put credit. So here it's billing document and invoice. So if you see just the previous one which you opened.
This one?
the previous one, source
This one.
type documents to company
Yeah,
code. So
yeah.
here for this company code, is it credit thing is used? Only 2 documents are mentioned.
Correct.
Yeah.
Maybe there would be some type like CI document, some type which would include
CI
credit.
is credit invoice.
I don't know. I'm just seeing the previous one. So maybe we can do a.
Let's look at the source time values. CI is convergent invoicing document. No.
CI document. Maybe credit.
Invoice verification. No. It's a part of the FI invoice, like the invoicing flow only.
Yeah.
There would be one more setting. Let me check also from my side.
Go back. Let's look at each and every screen. Okay.
Yeah. We can take
Go back here. Let's look at all your config. Anyways, we have to look at all the configurations. Let's look at all configuration one by one. Define interval.
No changes. Okay. We see this one, and I think document type eDocument. See Belgium invoice.
See Belgium. Credit note is there.
Yeah, credit note is there.
Yeah, credit note event is there.
Yeah, standard, same like invoice and credit note, incoming e-invoice, and.
This is a good problem to solve. I think let's do that troubleshooting.
BT, in the BT event, we had 2 BTs, right? Which were there. One was for invoice, one was for billing document. Is there a separate BT for credit note which we are referring to?
In the interface type, we saw credit note there.
Yeah,
I saw that.
What is the BT screen?
So,
which one do you want us to go?
If
these are the mapping right now at interfaces.
Business
BTs don't come here basically.
No, so we have 2 BTs listed in document.
FI,
yeah.
So,
BTs is basically when the actual document is getting posted, what you want to control. So those won't be assigned here. Those are across the system. You need to pick the process code or something. Behind the scenes, it will do it. So those are not related here.
In SM34, can you open EDO type?
SM34?
Yeah, SM34, EDO type V.
Can you spell it?
EDO TYPE V.
EDO TYPV.
Or
No, EE, ending with EE. Ending with
EDO TYP.
EDO TYP. I'm just posting in the chat.
Yes. VV.
Yeah. I posted
for
in the
victory.
chat.
Okay. EDO type PV. View does not exist.
Okay, SM30. Can you try once SM30?
Yeah, I was able to open.
Okay.
You're able to see? Yeah, SM30.
Yes.
I was looking at SM30.
Yes. Here, can you look for B_CRN credit notes?
CRN, all these.
B_CRN.
B_
CRN would be right. CRE, CRN.
CRE is there, credit note, Belgium credit note, CRE in the middle.
CRE is there, yeah. This is CH.
Not that one. Go up to the Belgium.
Yeah. CRE
Yeah, right there in the second line.
Correct. CRE.
What is the document type here?
Maybe you have to map something here. Invoice is working. This is working well. Maybe this customer use logic 1 and 4 here.
Is in drop down, can you see, is there something called CRN? B_CRN.
Then you have to go to the change mode. It's not telling me.
Program is also assigned.
Maybe one more refresh. It may take some time.
Let me also check from my side. I'm checking in.
Go back to the previous screen only.
This one, the logic one.
Yeah.
One second. Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go line by line. Okay. So we have Belgium credit note, external credit note, Belgium e-invoice.
And putting all the
external e-invoice, incoming invoice, purchase order, incoming order. I think INV and CRE, I think these are the one.
INV is good. It's working, right?
Or incoming, this is outgoing, outbound, okay.
So eDocument type assignment only would be something in the eDocument type assignment only is going wrong.
So maybe you can copy this one and put it or something like, let us see.
I think here it is fine. I think he's talking about the other ones.
Yeah, he says another BRECRN, right?
BE_CRN should be.
I copied and see. Let us see.
Okay. Let's checking the system.
Meanwhile, let us look at this one. Let's troubleshoot the other piece. Why our invoice that we're generating and the AB7 document that we're generating, why that is not getting pulled up in eDocument? Okay.
That is another.
Let's do one thing. Let's create two documents. One invoice and one FI document using the same customer that we just interface there. Okay. Use the same customer ID, and then we'll see if that gets pulled in. And then we'll start the troubleshooting from there. Just use the same customer, Christian.
I will use the same.
Meanwhile, can you open this customer and see if you see anything unique there, like a customer ID or something around there, like a tax ID or something?
Oh, which customer? Sorry, can someone ping?
What is this customer that you see on the screen?
This customer 10, I can ping.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm just checking.
Okay, I created another document just now. The 1801. And refresh here. 24 become 25. Oh, now it came. Very good. Excellent. So
change the days to just only 10 or something. That way you don't get to see all the. You can only see documents.
This is the finance document. Just now created, right? This is.
Yeah. What I'm saying is on the filter, right? You have 190 days. So that way we only keep seeing 2 documents.
360.
Just do just do 1 day. 1 day.
1 day or 2 days, something like that. Yeah.
1 day, 2 days. Yeah, 1 day. Yeah. Okay, there.
Right. Exactly. Then you're not messing with all.
I think something master data we need here, right? Like the customer whatever we selected is not working. Maybe we need to compare both customers. What is additional selections are here? This particular customer.
Okay. Let's quickly compare.
BP is not working. BP T code is not opening. Can you try? Is it opening at your end?
Which one? Which
BP T code, business partner T code.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 1 second.
It's still saying start of application maintain business partner, and now after more than a minute, now it opened.
It's open.
Okay. Yeah, now it opened. But still leave it at your side also. We don't know how much. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's compiling something like.
Okay. And this is the first partner, and you want what was your successful transaction BP? It's not almost working.
Yeah. This particular customer is working. MB70 is working. And only right now, the cancellation, invoice cancellation is not working. So these are the main thing we have, FI customer. And this is the company code. Maybe that the other one which we used, maybe
there must be some hook, like tax ID or something. There must be some hook that we don't have in the other customer, because of which we are not able to pull that information.
We can compare. If you want to compare that.
Yeah. I want us to compare. So at least when we do this setup, at least we know that what are the required values.
So I'm comparing these two between the bad one and good one. Yeah, this is the bad one actually. This is the good one. They're here maybe they didn't put in proper information here. Yeah, I think here everything is same. Let us go to address view.
Go to identification, tax ID. I'm sure there would be some hook on the tax.
Yeah, that could be. You're right. ELO is
See, Poland.
Maybe Poland. Okay,
This is Poland registered, not. Okay, now do one thing. Add a Belgium tax ID, enterprise number, and add both BE0 and BE1.
Yeah.
And then let's put up a transaction on this particular vendor after you do that, and then we'll see. No. B was missing.
Yeah, you have put there.
You may have to change one character. It may not allow you to save with the same voice.
Yeah, here. Now it's good, right? So first one,
save this one. Save it. You throw an error. Duplicate tax ID.
It will be a warning. It will not be a hard code error. Oh, yes, we can still make it as a hard code also at the configuration level. But usually people put it as a warning.
So that could be reason like this.
It's not an alignment. It's still a warning. Data contain errors. Yeah. It's no standard. But I
Krishna,
think
go back to the address again. Go back to the address again.
Address might be conflict.
Yeah, address. Look at the address if it is a Belgium address or a Poland address.
Yeah, I will go there.
So a good vendor is Belgium.
Yeah. What happened?
You pushed it. Pushed it later in the day.
Later, okay.
You want 100 ones.
100, yeah. This should be like this. This is the good one. 10 is good one. This is a 100 we have to. Okay. Address. Okay, I can 100.
This is the Poland customer, Krishna.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Pull another customer, which is Joe.
But when I pull the company code, it's coming. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Poland versus yes, the Belgium one.
Now that makes sense. Now we did analysis.
It's easy to Belgium.
Check data processed dependent on a new country region. It's looking region here.
That's okay. Doesn't matter. Save. You got saved?
Yeah. Is it saving? Any error? Confirm warning. No, it did not save it, I think. We can put some Belgium region here and see.
Oh, see after the postal code, the city, it has to be Brussels, and it is Warsaw now. Remove Brussels in the city, and change it to copy this one.
Excellent.
Yeah. Now do it. Now save it.
Still, it's showing an error.
That's okay.
Display message no. It will keep on start saying no, and still save. Again, it will pop up. Keep on saying no instead of yes. These warnings are like a little different. Yeah. Now changes have been saved. Good.
Okay.
Let us create
now.
This one.
Yeah, let's create with this particular customer.
The Poland customer we changed to
But if we've already created a document earlier with this particular customer, it was a FI document, correct? The address attributes were not there. Can we re-trigger it? There's a process there, isn't it? To re-pull the data instead of creating a new document. Create this one, but yeah, also let's try to run that process to re-pull the data.
Re-pull
the data in eCockpit. See, as of now, what we're thinking is BT is coming into play, correct? Which is automatically sending a transaction, a trigger point to send a transaction to eCockpit. But there's also a manual process you can run.
Somewhere, where is that cockpit open? I think this customer.
eDocument.
Cockpit, yeah. Take only one day. Only one day.
Refresh.
No, I think no one did last 30 days, I think. This did not now. The customer which used, maybe the old customer came. This customer maybe need to check more. Okay, you are saying that first of all, this new customer change is also not coming, right?
Yeah, at least a new document should get pulled in regardless, correct?
Correct.
But we
need to compare more fields, like maybe between these customers, not only address and the tax, maybe more fields associated with this.
Yep. What are the details that needs to be there? We have updated. We have added the tax details. We have updated the address. What could be the other thing that we are missing?
VAT number you have updated.
Yes, VAT number and the business number.
We updated this one.
Go to identification.
Identification, we updated this one. So let me go to the other one.
Does industry comes into play? Go.
And for the other thing, is looking, there is in the process manager, we have only B_INV. There is no mention of CRE. That could be one possible reason. B_CRE is not there in the process manager.
For the cancel invoices.
Okay. For the credit notes.
Yeah, the CRE one. I was exploring all the configuration, so I could only find that is the difference. But I'm trying to copy it, is again throwing some error.
Okay. Advi, you can look at it, but currently for this one, we have these two customers, customer 10 and customer 100. Both of them have, legal form is corporation, trading is industry is trading. We copied the tax IDs, but still we are not able to get this customer data in eCockpit.
So this is a invoice, right? This is invoice.
Yeah. So the FB7 invoice. Yeah.
FB, FI document is also there, and the billing. We are talking only FI document as of now. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe something in the controls or the master data point of view, anything. Maybe
I can check what is the mandatory things that should be there in invoice. Master data, I'm not sure.
So Krishna, go to this particular tab, country specific configuration.
Yeah,
there's a tab there.
Correct. Maybe the something is missing there, right? Yeah. Countries.
Yeah, country. Yeah, customer country specific enhancement. Left one.
Some dummy people ID also, I think, needs to be maintained in the customer master data. Sure if that is maintained. VAT
We
number
haven't
maybe.
maintained it.
I think so. That could be one reason.
Where is that hook? People ID.
Customer master.
We are in customer master only.
Right now we are there.
Sender, receiver. Identification is different. This is not there.
Credit profile nowhere related, like country specific only.
Enhancement. Yeah, on this one only typically things are there.
Yeah.
Go again. This one country specific enhancement. Scroll down. We have Taiwan. We have Poland.
Country specific here. Enhancement. Both are the same, I think. Here, nothing, no difference between 100 and
no difference. Okay.
No difference. Even the second tab, this is the country specific enhancement.
Okay. Do one thing, Krishna. Go back to eCockpit. Open eCockpit again.
Company code one and see quickly.
Yeah. You can look at it, but yeah, what I'm saying is if you go to eCockpit, let's open the XML and let's see what is the information that is required. That can also give us some clue.
Okay. So let me go to the eCockpit. This is the eCockpit. I am on here. This one.
So in what I could normally refer, or I am checking that from other help sources, because I'm not an expert in functional part. What is saying from BP, there is an external identifier. It should be maintained in the BP for in BP. There should be some external identifier, or for Belgium, it should be somewhere people identifier.
Okay.
And in customer master additional data tab, they are mentioning.
Customer master additional data tab.
Customer additional data. Customer master additional data. Here.
Okay. So nothing is there. Let me check the other one.
Yeah, look at the 10 because that 10 is our sample vendor.
Exactly. Okay, customer. Customer.
Go to BP level. You are at company code level. Go back to general data. Yeah. Go to customer additional data. Nothing.
Yeah.
Customer tax data. General data, tax data. Let's look at these two tabs also.
Customer tax data.
Scroll down. Brazil.
Nothing is there.
No. General data. Customer general data. I forgot about this one.
Any country specific something?
We are looking for there is something
mandatory thing which could trigger this. Some mandatory fields which.
Yeah, maybe.
Krishna, go to BP level. Let's go to BP level. That should be FI level.
This is the BP.
No, this is
the
FI level, isn't it?
The FI level. You want to go to company code level?
Yeah, customer level.
Yeah. So legal data is there. Something here, something different. Okay. Company code level. I'm going company code. And here also company code.
Doubt anything else at the company because it is more FI related information.
Exactly. Payment correspondence, insurance. Customer withholding tax. Maybe the other one. Yeah. So customer.
In BP, normally identifications will be there, right? Identification tab.
Identification tab, I think we verified general data. Identification tab here. Okay, we added these two. Only thing I put here, there.
The number for the second B1 tax number length is correct.
Yeah, it should be correct. Otherwise, it will not allow you to save. It should be correct. Yeah.
Just copy.
Here, in this identification number, see external BP number, just about tax number. Not sure. Is this the one?
External BP numbers are for third parties.
Different. Okay.
Yeah. Like if you want to have a mapping between some other system versus SAP, then
external ID tab. Apart from this, it's not there. Normally in external IDs, this would be maintained. Or we can do one thing in the parallelly. Can you check SAP note 242 4888 for this Belgium specific configuration if we are missing something from that note? Because half things they would have activated, half things they would have left like that. So
what is the note number?
242.
You're currently at the BP FI level. Okay, FI customer. Go directly at the BP level. Just open that customer at the BP level. Business partner level.
You meant general data basically.
Yeah,
general data is
same thing.
4888.
Because what I can Google, they are saying that we need to maintain PEPL ID. There is PEPL e-address or input ID. Something we have to maintain. This is Brazil.
24. No.
It's correct. 24248.
242. Yeah. 4888. Correct. Is the note that should have Belgium people field configuration detail there.
Scroll down. I don't know if you're looking at the correct configuration. When I Google, this is what they're saying. Go to BP, identification numbers. You need to enter the something called PEPL participant ID.
Where
looking
with it?
I gave the navigation, Krishna. BP in identification. Under identification right numbers.
Now, see here, this is the BP only, general data and company code data. There is no sales organization here. So identification, we are here. And where we can see.
Yeah, there is one more identification will be there, just above external BP. Where are you basically? No, you are under a FI customer. Here you might not have the complete display.
Yeah. Go to business partner general, top.
Business partner general, yeah, top.
The first role.
Okay.
Yes. Now identification will have, if you see now it's available, ID type, just below external, yeah. Just above tax numbers, you'll see that.
It's there.
It is there. The both, maybe I'll check other one also. The same.
No, but where is PEPL ID? Where is PEPL ID?
Here also is the working one. PEPL ID I don't see here. PEPL ID.
Can we maintain it like under identification?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is working, right? This is good one.
Okay.
Then that analysis also we need to understand. So where we have to enter the PEPL ID or something.
Because this may be long back, whichever system they have given, because it is working without even business, this BTP and PayPal, anything in between. So I'm not sure how they created
Krishna,
this data previously.
Take it to the BR and this one. Let's maintain it at this one at the BP level also, or identification if it is not there.
Yeah. General.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Scroll down.
It is there.
So it basically copied the general data. Basically got copied to the BP general level.
Exactly. The whatever we added, it came here in this role as well as the FI role.
Something somewhere is wrong. Yeah. Now go to eDocument.
eDocument. Okay.
Yeah, eDocument. Let's open the XML. Let's see. I think that will give us some clue. What all IDs are getting pulled up. At least we'll be able to compare between the good and the bad.
Okay, we are here.
Yeah, here, click go to. There would be show XML. No, display. Sorry, display. Yeah, XML preview. First one. Display preview XML.
Okay, we have select. Maybe you have to go here.
Just select one. Select one. Select one. Select one. Yeah, the bottom one. Yes. No. Bottom one. Bottom one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
That's the FI one. Yeah, FI MB71. Document color district. Check the document.
No, select the first one. It have XML. Second one doesn't have it.
Why?
Okay.
Both should have XML, isn't it?
No, it doesn't have it for some reason. But the first one, if you look to the right one, first one has it.
First one has it. Yeah. The billing one is have it, but the finance one does not. There is another thing we have to understand more later. No.
But I thought XML would be there for both, isn't it?
Yeah.
XML would be there for both.
Yeah, if it is process is completed end to end, right? It would be there. There is something is missing on the second one. There is a difference. First one is a billing document. Second one is an accounting document. That could be one reason, or there could be others also.
No. XML will be there irrespective of any kind of document.
Okay. The second one doesn't have it then.
Maybe, not sure. Can we take any other document for this?
We have only 2 here, but we can put it more.
Let me also check in Manage Electronic Document tab, which is, you're checking 12026, right?
Accounting document. This is going, but our document is not going through. This particular accounting document, which is created in the 11th. Just created this one.
Open our document only, Krishna. Yeah. Open our document that you created. Like open the billing document. Yeah, this one doesn't have the XML, correct? Forget about it. Yeah, leave this one. Take the second one. From the bottom second. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Open XML and let's look at the IDs that is getting pulled up in the XML. Okay, that will at least give us some idea.
Yeah.
See the sender and receiver. Sender is us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the top, the second ID. Receiver is the vendor. So this ID is your PayPal ID. Okay. So this ID would be configured somewhere in that particular vendor, which is getting pulled in. Okay.
Exactly, because in PayPal scheme, the first 4 digits are the schema number and then the ID follows. So there will be something
but then this ID is the in the identification we configured this ID, isn't it? This ID.
Yes.
This is there in the BP.
4022 we configured.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
When you go to identification, the first one 4022. What ID?
Yeah, first one. Yeah, you're right.
So
what else? Instance identification is this is date. What else? Then it is just some schema, document number, code.
There is another ID. Okay, starting with 9.
This would be the company ID, like the
our company ID, maybe.
Endpoint schema. This would be our company ID probably.
Agreed.
Address, and yeah, this is our data segment.
Again 4022 came in, like that is the customer ID, then again 40. Yeah, this is the email address. That's okay. That is the address, and then above that 4022 is again the tag ID.
Yeah. Actually, these invoices have deliveries, so that's the reason that same partner is coming multiple times.
Yeah.
Then we have amounts. That's about. Scroll down. 4022. Yeah. Keep scrolling.
Last.
Keep scrolling.
There is a number with 9. Where is that coming from, Krishna?
Which one? The top one?
Yeah, top one. Can you keep on going?
Go to the top.
Top.
Yeah. You'll see a number.
9 is there in the master data. If you see here, 9 somewhere we see, right? I think
it was a very big
9955 is schema.
No, which one? No. Okay. Can you go back? There was a big number with not 9255. Actually, there will be a big number with
9925.
Yeah, there is a. Can you go 7 lines up? Around 7 to 8 lines up. Just 7, 8 lines up.
Can I share for 1 minute?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
9005415.
9005415. Where is that?
Just below the people ID.
Yeah.
These are the 3 reasons for not getting the XML displayed for this 12026. Enter text for GL account, document, buyer reference, order reference are empty, and no taxes found for item 001 of source document.
But the first one also, the second one also no tax. Oh, for the XML you are looking? The XML.
Yes. Yeah.
But then Advay, it got created. But when we process the document further in the flow, it should throw that this error, isn't it? Because if the XML is not generated, it's not going to transmit back to BTP, isn't it?
Some validation, I think, in the system is not there properly. Something is missing because after it's getting created successfully, ideally they should have been in error state. So in a ideal way, you are seeing it created, but there should be ended up in error because this document is having an error. Because no error, nothing is shown.
Where did you get to that particular page? How did you look at that information?
I toggled here and then I clicked this one. So, and then I went to log. So in log, I got this.
Okay. Guys, note this point. This is important. Like if you get any error, you need to basically go to the right hand side and look at the log.
This answer was for the XML.
But there is also one, how I got a hint that this could be an error because I saw one message here, display message thing, which will not normally come when you have everything okay. So I clicked this message, then they mentioned some source key eDocument cannot be displayed. Check the, so it could be a typical error from the system, I don't know, configuration or what. Then I went to the application log. So this was the trigger point.
Okay.
So if you can you click on the other one? Do we see anything on the log? The successful one, the first one. The first one.
Yeah.
Click on hide just after stop sharing. There is an hide so that you will able to.
Okay.
Yeah. Now click close here. Okay. For the first one, can you click on that and click on the log?
No log.
There is no log.
Okay.
Can you submit this document? Otherwise, submit this document.
The second one.
The first one.
Okay. First one, let's try to submit.
The next status will be submitted to PTP, correct? Like, or submitted to sender.
Sending initiated or something. It's taking time.
Can you troubleshoot those two vendors and figure out what is missing?
These are the really helping, letting more. Whenever more errors are there, we dig and understand. Like,
no, these are all good instances that we are figuring out. Okay, so I'm happy there. But yeah, but end of the day, we need to at least get the solution for that particular vendor, because if we copied all the information, but still if we are not able to create a document, then so what is missing? We need to figure out that particular piece.
If you are comfortable with one country, then
or at least guide us that way, that how do we troubleshoot these problems? Like we can also look at it in our own time, but yeah, we need to at least.
Only thing is, like, functionally, I do not have that much knowledge on SDFI in system. So
one quick share. I don't know whether it's useful or not. Just hold on one sec.
I can tell the error messages or point at it what may be missing, but functionally it would be challenging. I have much knowledge on the SD and FI core modules.
Can you see the screen? The one that I'm looking at. So there is a transaction code called eDoc background. Okay. So this is the eDoc background. This will bring you back to all the background processor screen for all the the eDoc process.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come here, I think let me navigate. Let me go back. This is a transaction eDoc background process, which we haven't talked about. Cockpit we know, but this is like a background job tracker.
This is for AI.
This is the one that we'll run to manually pull the document, correct? Instead of PTE.
No, everything, pretty much everything. So let's say you have to be cognizant of these processes. I'm just speaking like BE, INV, okay, and these are mandatory. You have to have it actually. So there is a submit is the action. If you run this, then basically it'll. I think earlier I had some data at least. Oh, okay. Company code should be there. Company code, yeah.
For some reason I cannot be able to see the screen.
See, these are the 1541. Actually, the one document we pulled in, there is a log for this, right? Cancel not possible, interface cannot be cancelled. This is the activity from the earlier actions, okay? And same way, we are trying to cancel that. Basically, it is tracking all the logs, actually what happened. Even if the cockpit doesn't have it, at least there is a place where you can come here and then go and look at further. Just one pointer.
For any logs, SLG1 also captures all kind
Correct,
of.
Actually, that is another thing too, actually, yeah. So
SLG1 you can go and you can check.
So that's another thing actually. So that's the log master.
But if BT didn't pull up any document, we need to.
Then also it should pull, because it tried to do something and it failed, right? So it will.
Yeah. So
somewhere it will be recorded.
We need to get to those two documents that we created. We need to figure out what happened for those.
Correct.
Exactly.
So this will have a whole bunch of stuff, but I think we need to filter it out. Some of them we don't know what the process should be and what not. But SLG is another good option where you can. This is like a whole system log. You need to filter it out based on, what the jobs are.
For us, I mean, R is a global system with the 500 plus users globally working. It will be impossible for us to figure out what happened here.
No, I mean, just initially, right? So basically, for example, for these particular ones, and let's say in this particular SLG is like a global log for the entire SAP system. This is the bad example.
Select Krishna's user ID. Select Krishna's user ID.
Yeah.
eDocument. These are eDocuments.
So these are all eDocument processes. That is all. It also has a log number and whatnot. And I mean, we can explore this. These are some of the options. SLG is a good option. The one that I see, this
I think,
could be
can we proceed? Probably, I think we can find a way. I mean,
yeah, okay.
It's somewhere some configuration missing, right? So because we don't know the system, it takes time to troubleshoot.
Correct. So these are some of the pointers.
At least we know, where we can monitor,
Yeah. So those are the two that I could think of. But SLG one is a good option too. This is a background job. You can pull up the jobs if something is failed. We need to your point. You're right. Actually, the document itself is not created. How do we know? But there should be a background job which is pushing the document.
Is it not showing in the monitor, the cockpit monitor? What the Fiori?
No, because the document itself is not there, right? The cockpit is with that. That is a problem, right? But if you come to the background monitor, then there should be a job which is pushing from SD tables to the eDoc tables. So that where you should actually track it. That's what my theory was. But anyway, yeah, I think we can continue. This is just a couple of pointers.
See, once we start configuring the system and we just test a sample transaction, if we don't know how if that document is not getting pulled, we are stuck there. So at least we need to figure out like what is the process, how do we troubleshoot? Like these are important questions that we need to answer. So,
yeah, there are basic things. I mean, at some point we'll figure out, but it's good to know at least where to go rather than trying to shooting in the dark. Yeah.
Manage eDoc app might have more clues or something like that. Right now we are concentrating.
No, but Krishna, manage eDoc will come into play once the document got created in there. Okay.
So can we see the document? Okay, now that the eDocument is not created, right? Okay.
But eDocument is there, right? eDocument these two documents is there. Two documents I can see in manage.
Couple of scenarios.
What we did. Okay. Let me summarize here. There was already a bunch of documents which are already created in the eCockpit. We basically use that particular customer to create two documents. Okay. If we use the customer which is already there in the eDocument, eCockpit, if we push to both the transactions, we tried both the transactions, invoice and FI document, we are able to pull the transaction. Okay. However, when we create a document like our own document, okay, with a different vendor, okay, that document didn't get pulled in. Okay. So what we did, we basically compared the master data for both of the document. We matched the address, we matched the tax ID. But even after that, when we tried, after the document is getting created, that document details are not getting pulled in here. So we need at least some know-how to figure out how to troubleshoot that particular piece.
What is the process you use to create document?
I used FB70 for
FB70.
FB70.
Okay,
one is working. Yeah, another one is not working for me.
Okay, so you created a FB70 customer invoice and
same. We created for
so one is not working basically. So what is the difference between those two, Krishna? Is it
those two are the initial?
We don't know.
We don't know.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
We mapped everything. Like most of the fields are mapped.
You just said one is posted to eDocument, one is not, right?
Right.
Nothing is posted to eDocument.
One is posted. Another one is this is the FB70. This is the billing document. These two created, and this particular customer is working the FB70 on the billing side. But we have another customer. We use
so the below one is the one you created, where I could see it's created posting date.
Correct. This one.
Okay, so sending requested. What is that error, Krishna? Red. Can you look at the error? Click on the error. What is the error you say?
This error, I think it's giving you.
No, there is the second column. Yeah, click on that. It has application log, right? Cancel not possible. Interface message cannot be cancelled.
No, this is different. This is not even the problem. The problem is we have another document that we created that didn't get pulled in here.
Rami, the logs, what you're looking for is it will be available for the ones which are in the cockpit. Okay. Like if you highlight one, go for the logs and look at the application logs, you can see it. But the problem is one step before, the document didn't even come here. You're trying to figure out actually why it did not come here.
Yeah. What? The one document did not come with our whatever I selected first customer did not work.
That is what we are trying to figure out why it did not come, right, from a process point of view.
Somewhere, the
It didn't come, but does it show any error somewhere?
No. It's automatic background process.
Yeah,
that's what we are trying to figure out. How do we look at the logs? Where do we look at that log?
Those are the 2 pointers that I showed earlier. These document log will work if that already in the cockpit. Okay. The one we have is we don't have a cockpit. So those are the 2 areas where you can look at the process background, the eDoc background, which I showed you. And of course, the system log is like a wide open. I mean,
system log is not the solution, Krishna. It has to come somewhere within the application here itself. So we need to figure it out.
Basically, right now we are trying to figure out, right? And initially, that is the starting point, right? You know.
That's what we have to reach and understand more within the application, how to figure it out.
Are we sure all the configuration is intact? And for Belgium, did somebody verify all the steps?
But that's what documents won't come, right?
Rami, when one document came, the other didn't came. The configurations are there. Only there is a master data problem. But we are trying to figure out how to get that log to figure out what is the master data that is missing.
So we need to put it somewhere in this customer also in the link. Somewhere we have to put it.
One question. What is the process of creating, let's say for Belgium, right? What is the process that actually creates the eDoc? Is it Belgium external? There are a handful of drop downs. Belgium external document, Belgium EU invoice, or incoming invoice, EU order. Which one is those? Do you know?
I didn't get. You ask inbound. What exactly?
Okay, let me show you.
Mandatory fields, right? So what I know is if at all mandatory fields are filled and the three mandatory things.
I'm not talking about the customer master. I'm looking at here. So look at my screen.
Yeah.
So these are the process steps, right? eDocument process. When I try to look for a process, which one actually should be the one that corresponds to us?
BEINV.
BEINV? Is it the EU invoice?
Yes.
It is a EU invoice, European Union. What about this? What is the difference with this Belgium incoming invoice?
So when you are the customer, the customer and you are receiving the invoice, this is for that process.
Okay.
So some vendor will send you, and you would be in the receiver's end.
So this is the Belgium invoice.
And then,
e-invoice is the one. Okay.
And then eDocument cockpit, you will have 2 segregations. One for your outgoing invoices and billing document. One will be for incoming invoices and billing document.
Okay. Oh, okay. So then it is the Belgium invoice basically, right? You know.
Yes.
And just quickly, just so you know, these are the options, right? This is the external document that is coming from outside somewhere, which doesn't apply here.
Incoming.
External document.
Yes.
The first one. This one is the one that we have. EU invoice is the correct one. Incoming invoice. What is incoming invoice?
Just now I explained.
Oh, okay. No, the difference between external documents and incoming invoice. First and this one.
Normally, invoices and billing document is used. I'm not sure. This may be in business terminologies only. External documents, I'm not sure.
Okay. But in all probability, this should be the option for us, right? Correct? This is the right option.
Yes.
And
this particular process is just a background job for you to automate the steps in the process. So you need to let's say once document gets created in eDocument, this is like a background job. See, parallel processing, everything is there. So there's just a variant for there are 2 ways to submit the document. Either you go to eCockpit and click on submit each and every document after reviewing the details in XML and whatnot. This is the second way. You basically configure this job. This is the background job. That's it. It doesn't do anything else apart from that.
So if you look at I think definitely that is true. Actually, what I was just thinking is, see this one, the step, right? There is the eDocument action. This should correspond to what we are looking at, correct? Right? Create eDocument should be the one which should create a document from SD.
This is a
SD
manual
building
pull that I was talking about. Yes. Click on this one.
So so these are the options underneath it actually, right? Create and whatever the 9 ones. So cancel is, we know that. Create is the one I narrowed it down. Delete is, suppose if you want to get it up from the cockpit itself. Okay. The other ones are reject, resubmit. These are all within the cockpit. I mean, within the eDoc process. So create should be the one which actually extracts from the BP data, whatever that we are looking at, right? So
run this one for creation date.
No, there is no date filter only. Just like this is pretty much, open. I ran it for everything. So action is not allowed for any selected eDocuments. I don't know what that means. The action is not allowed for any selected eDocuments. Okay. But anyway, I think
this was the same. Can you just click it again once the message that this was the same from the right? No, the action is not allowed for any selected. No.
This is the creative builder.
Or should we select any other process? Or you're sure that this should correspond to us, right? The BE one?
Yes.
That should be the process?
Yes.
Or anything else?
BEINV. Yes.
Yeah, it didn't bring anything. Let's say incoming and e-invoice. Incoming e-invoice. No, it doesn't sound good. These are all orders. What about Belgium? What is the difference between these two? Belgium e-invoice. This is also Belgium e-invoice. It says USINV.
This is somebody's. Yeah, this is which they have.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this. You think this won't give you what we are looking for? Is that what your thought is, right?
Yeah. So I think when you run it blanket, I think it's a slightly more open.
You can't run the blanket. That is a problem. I tried that already. You can't run it for blanket. That is it will force you to.
No. I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying run it blanket. I'm saying put some more criteria, like probably creation date in the selection criteria after a company code.
Uska superset doesn't bring anything. Then how your filter will bring anything else?
So what is showing in the eDoc underscore cockpit? Is it not showing anything?
No, it didn't come that far. That is where we are trying to. Before you hit the eDocument cockpit, something got lost somewhere. We are trying to figure out where. Definitely, there should have been a push. Even if the customer failed that because the tax ID is not there or external document, additional data.
Quickly, I mean, I didn't log. Okay, this is the place you are showing. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Is there a BT monitor?
There is the SLG one is a good option, but that's like a very wide for now. Actually, I mean, we're not saying that.
Other role, the customer role does not configured in this sales area is not set up for the customer. Maybe the bad customer 100. One of the roles, the customer role does not created in the sales area.
Activate eDoc Brazil. eDocument created submit for.
That could be one of the reasons. Maybe that it's looking at the customer.
But if the sales area is not there, then
the bad customer does not include the sales area. So that one thing I have gone through all the roles. That the one of the role does not sync between the 10 and 100.
Which can you extend it, customer?
We can try that one.
Okay.
I'm working on that. Yeah.
To which entity do we want to extend?
I already added.
It's already, I think.
In the eDocument cockpit, it is clearly showing some message, some HTTP. Can I share my screen?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
that is the session we want.
So this is for you. It's not opening the.
Actually,
proxy.
what I did, I selected one of the line item and go to option where interface log.
Yeah.
So
this
is SOAP error.
Because I think
did you check the SOAP manager? Look at that configuration, web service configuration.
It won't be there, I believe, because there is no endpoint defined for this system, but I don't think so. This is only sending.
Right.
It's a
And
sending failure issue, not the creation and display.
Moreover, this document already came, right? We know the document got pushed from SD to eDoc. Okay. So that created that error could be something else where you're trying to send it to like a PayPal server or some endpoint is missing or something like that. But I think what we are looking at is that is not even coming here. The log, what we are looking at is for the ones which which already exist in the cockpit. The one we are trying to find is the one which is not here in the cockpit and lost somewhere in between.
Okay. Part of the activity, we created to document, we are able to push it to eCockpit. So at least activity is done, correct? I mean, we are fine.
Yeah. One flow is done. Actually, that was the one which we intended, that at least one flow we should have. When the idea was when we create something fresh and we see that happening, but I think this training system, there may be some issues. So but that part is done. At least now you all are able to, after all the debugging, all these things, at least now you are able to know, right, how these all configuration connects, what happens, what triggers what. So at least to this level, as you said that at least if I'm able to create one and see in the cockpit, that would be the first success.
In our system. Not here. Here you have already configured it up there. Okay, so still not a success.
No, I have not done this. This is done by vendor for some previous training. I'm not sure.
Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, so that's okay. At least we are able to at least get some more understanding. So now take that as an action item. Probably talk to experts or whatever for our use case. We need to figure out a way how we basically troubleshoot for that particular problem. Like, is there a BT monitor or something similar where we can basically look at the logs that why that transaction didn't trigger an eDocument. Okay, so we need to get at least if you can give us some process or something, we can troubleshoot it in our own time. That's okay, but we need to at least figure out how do we troubleshoot these problems. So because I can very well say we will definitely get these problems in production. So we need to arm ourselves to figure out how do we tackle the situation.
Yeah, one more update. I sync everything, all the roles, even though the document is not showing in the cockpit.
Okay. So that's okay. So you have time till we can, like, before we end this particular meeting, we need to figure out and troubleshoot that piece. Okay.
One quick pointer before, just basically in SLG log, it does actually, if you filter it by eDoc, it does actually give you error messages. For example, GL text is missing for a GL account or something like that. That means there could be a way to get around there also.
Can we filter by the transaction that Krishna posted? Can you filter it on that particular document if in SLG?
So what I did was my filter was just eDoc as a transaction. We don't know all the filters also, right? We need to figure that out. But at least just as a point, it does have some detailed things actually, right?
Okay.
So,
because this is the transaction where if anything fails, it gets captured. So that's why I recommended this transaction. That
which one?
If SLG one.
Okay.
Yeah, SLG one obviously the problem is it is a whole system log, right? So.
But iDoc object type will filter that.
Yeah, that is what I did. Also, that's another thing. The one that created is FEC 01, right? The user is 01, right? Is that right? That's actually good thought. What is the user? What's the user ID?
GFEB 01.
GFEB DRC 01. 01.
Okay.
So just going through the error log, I'm just sharing my screen. So I think these issues are fixable, right? I'm just sharing my screen. So these issues, I think, would be fixable, right? Enter GL account item.
So those okay. Those for the XML issues, right? Yeah.
No access found. Cancel not possible. This is the last one because I think somebody triggered sending and then they tried to cancel. But I think these three things should be possible, right?
Yeah, this is the See, 18001 you can see in the cockpit. There are other documents are not came to the cockpit. That is the main thing we need to understand.
And
18000.
If you want to look for things which are not created, so it was the same company code, is it? It was the same company code that these documents.
Code, yes, correct.
Okay, so then the best way to do that is I'll share. So please use this note. If anybody can open this note and share. This is the note which would have all the error codes, all the solutions to things which currently we are facing in the configuration. We're not able to see the document. So maybe if somebody can, because I will not have SAP.
Yeah, the mainly let us target this one. These are the main scenarios we have. Let me see my screen.
Okay.
See, these are the first 4 documents we created in the finance, just direct finance, the finance invoice. Okay.
Okay.
Out of 4, only this one is working. 18001 is working. Remaining 3 are not working. So we need to identify why 000203 is not working. That is the issue number 1. Issue number 2, we already see the document in the cockpit, but we cannot able to export through XML. That is the issue number 2. And the issue number 3, when you see the RV documents, we created a couple of documents, right? Yeah. If you take this example here. So expectation here, cancel document also supposed to come.
Basically credit note.
Credit note, yeah. The credit note did not come.
Credit note, yeah. So credit note was not mentioned or not maintained in process manager. So process manager do not have any credit note maintained there. So invoice and billing document is maintained. Plus the troubleshooting note that I shared in the chat. Can somebody open that? Because I cannot open in SAP from.
Yeah, I opened it, just trying to share it in the chat, but it is restricted.
This note that you gave, were you able to see that? Okay.
Yes, this is troubleshooting note. SAP for me, if you put this note in SAP for me, troubleshooting note, it will show you. And this is the first problem that you mentioned, that the invoices are not showing up. SLG1 is the one where we can find what are the failures. And here, if we go, you can scroll down. So you do not have to. Yeah.
We have Belgium also. Okay.
No. So
okay,
you can just.
Can you guys look at this particular note and figure out what is going on here or after?
So we have 3 issues, right? Those 3 issues, maybe we can. We can put it somewhere in the issue.
I think let's do one thing now. Let's continue with our content. I think the Belgium is over. Do we want to continue with it? Let's continue with it, Italy. And then we'll troubleshoot on this one, and we can probably plan first half or second half and troubleshoot based on whatever, if team is able to figure out something. Okay.
Fine. Let me then open the one. Give me 1 moment. I'm going to the materials for
the both of you. Do your independent troubleshooting.
Now, Belgium, I think we very well know one straightforward scenario we have already tried a hands-on with. Now coming to Italy will have its own flavor. That's the framework's beauty, that most of the things which you have already understood would not change. Only things would change is values and few places, some additional configurations that need to be done. But more or less, the whole structure, I would say the base is set from Belgium that we looked upon. So now coming, I would also, because there was some confusion in the past, so I'll also highlight what is already shipped by SAP, where you just have to review and you do not have to do anything, maybe where you would have to enter some values or change some values in the configuration. Maybe that part I think was based on past experience. I thought let's also explicitly call these things. So maybe while we go, then we could do that as well. Okay. Now coming to the Italy scenario, why Italy invoicing? So, and can you tell me when did Italy introduce their B2G scenario, like business to government, in which year? At least an approximate guess.
Italy, I think.
Okay, what was the question?
In 2018, I think Italy, like when we started uploading the kind of spreadsheet kind of thing to the government portal. Like we created the invoices, then Italy wanted in a specific format and we uploaded on government portal. It has been many years. 1819 kind of thing, yeah.
So Italy was one of the first countries in Europe to mandate e-invoicing, so for all B2B transactions. And in 2014, Italy first introduced this Fatturapa concept.
Fatturapa, yes.
Yeah. So, and especially for B2G, business to government, so they introduced long back. So they are one of the first countries, one of the, I would say, pioneers. And then now their system is quite stable. And then the mandate was done in 2019 that everybody should follow. And looking at the amount or the performance of the government system, they call it as SDL. So there is a name for it.
So that is the B2B, right? The B2G, they started 2014, right?
14, yes.
Yeah.
So then in between, there are a lot of scenarios. Then they had some law passed in 2017. Then I think from 2019, at least, B2B was mandated. B2G started much earlier. Then what they did was the whole clearance concept they brought in between that. I'll talk about it when we go down little later in the document. So just give a minute here for you to at least get on with the terms, because it's not the normal English terms. So SDL is their government central hub, where which would be kind of a clearance system. So we'll call it as SDL, not the full form, because I'm not able to. Yeah. So, and this would be, again, the format. I'm just giving a summary. There is a complete details inside. The summary format must be XML in an Italian specific format. And there, as I said, it is a clearance system, right? So it for receiving or to process, government interference or government clearance is required, unlike we had it in Belgium, where there is no government interference as such in the clearance of the documents. So I will be pausing here to show how things would work in Italy. So you have your company, which you can see. And then, okay. So your system, S4HANA, very much familiar. Then we submitted SDL, the government hub in between. Then it validates it. Just talking about, I've not introduced a layer where this is just the process wise, a diagram where you see the government validates and then sends, and then once the government sends, customer doesn't have to do anything. So they send the response back, whether they have accepted, rejected, it will not matter. And it's all what matter is the government's response, acceptance or rejection. So government is the boss here, and there would be different codes that it will send back to the source system. And based on those source code, it would be decided whether the invoice or the billing document is accepted or rejected, or any subsequent action needs to be done from there.
I think slightly the arrows are different. So second point is fine, like validate and response. delivery receipt is generated by the customer
that
or
arrow,
by government?
No. So this is from government. I think while formatting the document, they may have stretched or done that, but this arrow is from the government itself. So
What is the
customer
difference
doesn't.
between the validation response and delivery receipt?
Sorry. Validation response, and then they also give the receipt that whether the customer has received or not.
Okay.
So both the responses would be passed on. So
But if the government has already accepted, then the customer can reject it. Then what is that NS means then?
Maybe they would have some conflict, or customer is also a way of triggering the dispute. Maybe that also is a possibility. So.
Okay. So basically, there can be two levels of rejection that can happen.
Yes.
First at the SDL level and second at the customer level.
Correct.
Okay.
So what we can notice, at least I'll just put on the screen the various terminologies that is very much used in the whole Italian scenario. So SDI would be a government central hub that receives, validates, routes all the invoices. There would be Fatturapa, that is the invoice itself in XML format, eDocument that they call it as, and then a 7-character code which identifies the recipient address. So it would be a code that identifies where does this document go.
Hand is raised. Do you have any question?
No. Instead of muting it, I just raised the hand. I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. No worries. Sorry, Advait. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then few more, the codes that I was talking about, there would be a transmission ID. So you must generate each submission to SDL and it will be never use unique ID for tracking the number. Then these are the delivery receipts. Your invoice is accepted and delivered to your customer. So this is kind of a very happy good news, which everybody needs as a vendor. And then there is rejection notice. So these are various messages or various statuses, I would say, which would be there.
So this transmission ID is government generated or generated by the customer like us?
No, you have to generate it from your system. So that should be a unique number that must be generated.
And is that different to the invoice ID or it can be same as invoice ID?
I'm not sure. I think it should be somewhere.
No, it's like a PayPal ID, right? Basically, where they generate.
Yes.
No. PayPal is the VAT ID.
No. The transmission
PayPal has different ID beneath. It has schema plus the subsequent digit. So PayPal ID is not the VAT ID. In this your scenario, you may have used it, but normally PayPal ID will not be the VAT ID. It will be a unique ID which you have to go to PayPal site, and I think when you do the integration,
Belgium, we did not see that one.
It's a sender receiver XML will contain that.
Okay, let's continue. We'll see what this ID is and if it is unique or it is different. Okay.
It's kind of a transaction ID, where you guys can track the whether it is received by the customer or not.
Where can we see that one? That's my question. Like, where can we see already we did some analysis, right?
We'll check that is an XML. So we'll check this when we come to the later part where we have XML there.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm assuming DRC Cloud or the the CPA integration, when they send, they'll generate it, update back to SAP. That's where you can see it.
So the PayPal ID
just like Concur report ID, Krishna, where it will generate some random report ID numbers, right? In XML you can see it, right? That's the same thing.
The XML, okay. But is there a specific name, the PayPal ID or something?
No, PayPal is only for you, right? For Korea, it's different. So that's why they call it transmission ID. It's a generic name. For India, they may have different.
I work with XML. That's what I'm looking here, Rami, and understand what number.
You can only get it once it's sent to customer, right? Because we haven't configured the receiver yet. So you cannot
once
see
you
it.
send it to the customer, then only the PayPal ID will generate.
The transmission ID will generate. Correct. Yes.
So right now, whatever exercise we did, we created and we kept it. We did not send it to the customer or something like just those documents are in the cockpit. That's why we are not able to see. Once we send, we will be able to see it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and
It would be some alphanumerical value.
Do you know the tag name or something? What is the tag generally?
And ideally, the system should generate it automatically, is what I know.
So it is like controlled by the customer, like us.
System. Yes.
By
Yes.
us.
Okay.
As of today, for Italy, when we send it to the government portal, our billing team manually, actually, we are still not fully automated, so manually prepares this, and they keep on updating the number. We cannot even skip one number.
Okay. Okay.
So other scenarios, VAT identification number, tax regime code. So these are all very important terminologies that would be required from the functional aspect for Italy.
What are those two fields? Like, can you elaborate a little more?
So Italian VAT identification number, and then there will be a date, right? The time elapsed, how much date, like for example, the invoice is deemed accepted or rejected, it lies there, a buffer without any confirmation. So there is also one status for that, let's say to certain extent when you haven't received a response. So all that would be captured in, I think, DT, which they call it as. Then VAT identification I told, and then tax regime code. So that shows your tax status.
Okay.
So what kind of tax status? So in Belgium, you remember there was slabs, 10%, 21%, something. Here they have tax status, whether they come in ordinary or minimum taxpayer or a flat rate, kind of business specific. Okay. Now we'll move to the architecture of it. So yes, we talked about the clearance model. So three key aspects, which is very different from PayPal, and I think there was little confusion. So again, I would like to insist there is we have a clearance where SDL is there to validate and approve before. Unlike in PayPal, there was just a delivery mechanism. It was just routing, if you see. But here there is a complete validation mechanism that is taken care by SDL. And then the response is handled by SDL. So it sends all these codes that we saw, RC, NS, and it's quite fast. So it should be like, if at all their validation goes through, within minutes, seconds, they would send it. And people will take some time to acknowledge, right? So, and then the SDL. So SDL is run by the tax authority itself. So it's not a European standard body like PayPal. So it's a tax authority themselves. Maybe to give a best example here, we can take example of, I could think of when we all go to airport, right? So SDL is kind of a customs control. So in any airport, when you go, like imagine if you are kind of a passenger, which is an invoice, you cannot reach the destination to your customer until custom gives you a clearance. So it's quite similar mechanism that they have. And then why is it's important? Because the Italy government really feels that they should not be known at the end. They should validate everything from their end before it reaches to the customer or business partner. So when any invoice is getting rejected by them, then legally you are bound to fix it and resubmit such invoices. So again, that means the status tracking is very critical. So you need to know if the invoice was cleared or not. Right? Okay. So just a question. What happens if, let's say, SDL itself is down?
They will not able to receive the invoices because we upload those XML in the form of XML. So nothing should be received ideally.
And then what would happen? What would happen then? Means
like assumption should be like nothing should change.
No, how would you know? Like you send it is gone from your system and they are down. So somewhere in between it is, and you
because
have.
We upload means then upload should go into error something.
We don't upload, right? We send.
Okay. We send to their portal.
The entire business will be gone because they are sitting up in the middle. Like a customer will not receive an invoice. You're not able to send to the customer because authority is down. So there is no. So entire Italy business will go down unless they could bring back the system.
Okay, so it's very rare. I think 99% chance it won't happen. But again, the beauty of SAP's solution is that it includes this kind of contingency. So the iFlows have those mode, even if this SDL is down, right? They have the contingency mode. So they know if the sender is down, they will keep that with them and they will retry.
In the buffer and retry. Okay.
Yes. And also the earlier code that I showed you, the 5-day deemed acceptance rule, is also to provide some backup in that case. So that's the thing. So I'm also highlighting the need of the middle SAP solution here. Okay. So again, another question or a food for thought.
It will basically keep trying. It will basically keep trying if there is a network transmission or something. But there must be some limit there, correct? Like 2 days, 4 days, 5 days, or is it configurable, or it is standard?
So for them, this again the 5-day deemed acceptance rule is there. So the authorities are bound to accept or reject something within 5 days. Like for Korea, it's more stringent. It's again 2 p.m. the next day. But here it's at least 5 days where this rule applies, that at least till 5 days they will try. That's the.
But if the system is down for 5 days,
then I think the whole Italian government would go have to.
Okay.
So yeah.
At least you should receive a response in 5 business days, either acceptance or reject.
Yes.
Okay. And that is and for that SAP. So our buffer will also be like we will retry till 5 days, correct? I mean that's how it is because based on the law. Okay.
Okay. Then again, food for thought or a question to that. How would the SDL know where to send the invoices? Again, back when it has received, if they want to send the invoices right from you as a vendor, they have received. What would be
the VAT registration ID?
Like there would be some unique key value.
Yes,
which identifies a customer uniquely. Yeah, that would be
the one
that was 7 digit.
Facture ID.
No. Facture is invoice.
So invoice is representation in our system, right?
We call it as destination or something like that. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. 7-digit code. Yes.
So this codice, destinario, whatever. So that's a 7-character code that will identify the recipient. Right. So, and let's say again twist scenario that let's say if the customer system is itself down, then let's say SDL is all good.
After 5 days, I think 5 days, 7 days.
But then we don't care because our response is just to send to the SDI. Then from SDI, it has to go to the customer. We doesn't come into play. We don't come into play that particular piece.
If customer system doesn't come up even for 5 days, government will say clear that invoice.
Awesome. Yes. hope all governments are like that. So if yes, so same the 5 days rule. So if no response comes from the authority, then the invoice would be considered as delivered, and there is no objection from the customer. So that will be a legal valid point. Why I'm talking about is whenever, maybe not now, whenever you will have Italy case with you. So these are the very important points, or I would say business specific rules that needs to be considered. Okay, and then some few questions which I could think of. Okay, it's Italy, right? So for Italy,
VAT ID is not that big as an issue because they validate the VAT ID.
Validation will be there. I showed the validation would be anyway there, but
I think
for
11
them,
ID plus 11.
the 7, correct. So VAT ID would be there, but for them, where to send the 7-digit is more important. And do you see any rejection? As far as I know, Italy is not based on the rejection system from the customer. Sorry, I think the delivery system, but for Italy, at least to my knowledge, there is nothing called rejection system. Like once your SDI validates, sends it, then it's the customer's invoice. No disputes, nothing. SDL will handle it. So, but I think it's the reverse in Korea. So in Korea, if the rejection happens, then there is a way to have all the disputes raised. So I think Italy has that.
But the way when you showed the workflow earlier,
yes,
you showed there are 2 levels of rejection,
correct. So this is this arrow is misleading. This arrow comes from the SDL only, nothing from customer. Sorry.
Okay.
Nothing from customer.
First status is accepted or received, accepted or rejected, and then the second is received by the customer.
Yes.
And then what is the difference between the validation response rejection versus the delivery rejection?
Delivery rejection is from means they have delivered it to the customer or not. So and first response is you submit, they have accepted it. Then second is your customer, to the customer it is delivered or not is the second response.
Okay. But then if the customer is sender level, if it is rejected,
then if customer cannot do anything, means if he cannot reject the invoice that comes from SDL.
But then this delivery receipt rejection doesn't make any sense then. You're getting the point, correct?
It may not be delivered, means delivered or not accepted scenario.
Okay.
But the point is, customer cannot overwrite whatever SDL has sent them. So that's the point.
But SDI can only confirm on the tax ID in the format of the data, correct? Let's say I send the how would SDI know that I might have billed the right amount? Let's say I was supposed to bill 100,000 and I billed like $200,000. Then how would SDI know?
They would have all the, like, for example, I'm not sure. They would have all the
contracts
of contracts of all the, like, through VAT IDs, or there would be individual steps. Like, for example, I can only relate to India, who has everything right from the way bill till the delivery receipt. Everything is going to the government from all the suppliers and people, so they can reconcile very easily what would have been the value. So I could think that they already have that system in place.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, most of the contracts negotiated is between the customer and the vendor. Government authority doesn't come into play. So how would they know the terms of the engagement? Like, probably, like, let's say I was supposed to bill annually, but if I sent a entire annual bill in a single billing cycle, there may be a system issue, correct? So how would the Your thought is no. It is what I'm thinking, that there could be some genuine scenario that because of system glitch, we overbuild a particular customer. But if the customer doesn't have a means to reject an invoice once it is approved by SDI, then how would customer raise a dispute?
Maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe the invoice would also have the link to the PO or the sale order or some reference with it.
Okay. So yeah, let's take that as an action item. Let's figure out what could be the other things. Okay, all of us will, even including me, will figure out at least. Let's continue.
Okay. So coming to the architecture, I think it's split between 2 pages, but fine. I think you can look into this. So again, the key components, like everything is S/4HANA, where the invoices are created. We have eDocument framework there with all the configurations in place. Then we have SAP Cloud Connectors, which is on-premise to cloud bridge here. Then we have BTP, especially integration.
This is not DRCC, correct? Like this is not the DRC cloud. This is
Cloud Connect. This is integration suite, CPI or integration suite that they call it as. So cloud middleware.
Okay.
And then so Italy is using cloud, CPI for this DRC. I just sent the link actually. It has all the steps and the architecture, everything. Group. So Belgium uses DRC cloud and Italy uses the CPI. So there is a standard integration content which we need to enable and customize as per our needs. There is a configuration to give the VAT ID and everything over there in the CPI.
Okay.
So VAT ID means like all the vendors and customer VAT IDs there, master data also need to maintain, or just only our VAT ID?
Our VAT in the flows basically.
Okay, not the customer servants. Okay. Got it.
Okay, so moving ahead, then we have the authorities in between.
So, Advay, can you go a little up and elaborate a little more here? So what's happening here? So FI document, the FI, the SD, and what's the other one?
MM.
Okay. Maybe I need to change my classes. Okay.
Sorry, this diagrams is just created. It's a simplified version to break down. So I just use this so that like a drawing board, which is more understandable in my view. So bear with me for all these. If you have little bit of discomfort, the lines are here and there, but it gives a good picture like a drawing where we can break down the components at our wish. Because in normally SAP slides will have only high level mention and underlying components would not be explicitly called out. So that's the reason I try to not go into slides and then show just a high level diagram and
so we understand the process manager and eDoc cockpit. What is the AI?
So this is application interface. We would talk about it in our last session. So this is background job and all the message exchanging framework. So all the message exchanges happen through this AIF framework. So it's another like jobs, like incoming messages, outgoing messages, everything is controlled by AIF framework.
We can schedule jobs through this. Okay.
So what I could relate it
from SAP, once we send the eDocument, the AF is a framework SAP is using to send to external parties, to DRC cloud and to the CPI. So any kind of issues, kind of a logging or monitor for transmission within SAP, somewhere you have to check it, right?
Okay.
So we need to use that AIF.
Got it.
Yeah. 1 second. This is what I think what Ram is talking about. We have the source document, we have eDocument instance, eDocument cockpit, interface connector, EIF proxy connector, which basically calls here. Then we have, this is the BTP pattern, not even that. This is still within the
SAP. The
this is still SAP.
what it does, the AA proxy is basically the proxy setup what we have it in the configuration, right? It will look for the above proxies, what is there. That's where it communicates between above proxies and SAP backend. That's why they use the AAF.
Yeah.
That's because those are the proxies to get the data, extract the data to send to external parties.
To at a high level, just to create the XML, like get the mapping and all the details to create the XML, then upload a copy of the XML attached to the eDocument cockpit, that eDocument that is created, and then it basically further processes and send that. Then above proxies again, then send it to the integration suite to process the XML and send it to tax authority. Till all this work, this is your framework, electronic framework.
I think it's a very meaningful. It's a very good flow.
And then there are a lot of transformations also happen inside the CPI. Basically, they have because when it goes to government, there is signatures that would be needed. So there are digital signature services. There are the iFlows, the integration flows, where the XML would be completely transformed to the government format. So we have transformed in our system the billing or invoice document to an XML, which at least the eDocument format, a normal eDocument format. Government will have this is all SAP data, right? From your system, like from our system, let's call it as. Then for government, many things would not make sense that comes out of SAP based representation. So there, this CPI or the iFlows per country. So they have been already there as a plug and play, where they would already transform these things into what the government exactly needs. So that is also a big plus point, where user doesn't have to do anything other than configuration. So they just need to do the configuration, leave everything onto the CPI to do the transformations and send it to the government, how the government needs. So that's because there are a lot of complexities. There are digital signature certificates and transformations that are involved.
Okay, maybe then if I ask you this thing, so in XMLs, we can see which fields we are capturing. Okay, my question is, from where those fields are coming, how do we know that?
So it's coming from your invoice and the source document.
Yeah, I understand. Invoice itself is a collection of data from different sources. Okay, so eventually what I meant is, by any chance, do you have any document which says, so suppose if we take very simple thing like VAT ID, no doubt VAT ID can be stored at multiple places.
But in your invoice, in your invoice, it would come from a particular source, right?
Yes. Is there a sort of mapping that we can see against those fields in XML? I'll tell you, I don't want to.
That would be, if you want mapping, then I'll tell you, place is the classes that is mentioned there. So there are different classes and methods that we saw in our process manager, right? So they are the one who are doing I can give you the mapping class. I can look into the ABAP program. I can pass it on to you, the mapping class. That mapping class does all these transformations. It deeps down the invoices, it picks it and creates the XML, what is required.
Yeah, basically I'm looking for kind of a source side of mapping. I'll tell you why. Because similar fields, I don't want to jump in. For Korea, our assumptions were name will be coming from the actual name, or email ID will be coming from the actual email ID, but it didn't came from the email ID. Rather, there is I think representative email or responder email ID 1, responder email ID 2, or representative email ID 1, email ID 2. It's coming from a country specific, a brand new page itself. And out of the blue, I was not aware, I'll be very honest, until I kept on digging where it might be on the nodes and everywhere.
Normally, I do not see there is a source that is maintained, at least anywhere where these fields would come from. But when you Means you would need, if you want to explore a particular field, you may need a help of an ABAPer who can debug these classes and can tell you that this field is coming from this place in the source, either invoice or any other part of the invoice which you are referring to, or field of the invoice. So maybe that is the option that normally.
So this will not be a part of our curriculum. This curriculum.
These sources, what field it is, that can be part. That this is VAT ID, this is source ID, this is this. But exactly where from the source it is coming, I think that in detail will not be part of this course.
Yeah, because until we know where it's coming from, how will be inputting how will do the input, data input. I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to come up with.
Yeah, see this link which I sent to you, Avnish. That will give the link for the mapping.
That would be great. Your understanding, Rami, like whether it's going to come at like business partner level, material number, it will be, and where it will be picking the remarks or like general text. Text can be everywhere.
But would it pick from the source document? That is what I'm wondering, because all these things will be anyway part of the source document, right? Like invoice, let's say.
By default, nothing. When you'll have to design your invoice. You're talking about your migration cockpit invoice, correct?
Yes.
E-invoice.
Yes.
Yeah. So when suppose I'm building a fresh Belgium system or maybe Italy system. Okay. I know some specific fields, but I don't know each and every field that's sitting in the XML. Where it's going to be.
Why you have to do that? Because it gets created automatically, right? If you have a source document which is perfect, let's say invoice, it's a perfect invoice. When you create that invoice, automatically the eDocument gets created, right? So why would you have to think about which source?
If you know the mapping, if there's a requirement to change the mapping A to B, we can do that. That's what we're trying.
But why would be the requirement come that you need to change the mapping? Because it's all legal format, right? Why any requirement you could relate? Because I also want to understand which requirement would trigger that you would have to change the standard mapping.
Okay. No. 1 second. Let me explain. So Advay, when you look at the business partner, okay, at the business partner level, you basically maintain the tax ID at the identifications. Okay, there are other areas also where you can basically maintain the tax IDs. I think the example that Avnish took is for Korea. So for Korea, you can maintain the tax ID at identification, which is global for everybody. Okay, but for Korea, they have given a separate section at the FI level called country specific announcement. In that, they have a separate section where you have to maintain
BRN IDs.
No, not only that, because there's a lot more details. Like you have to submit the type of payer, type of industry, first contract, secondary contract, first contract email, secondary contract email. If you want a consolidated invoice, if you need a monthly invoice, so those settings already though delivered, but they are basically embedded in a separate navigation. Okay, so I think what Avnish is trying to say here is we understand that when we implement the standard mapping is there. We are not changing the standard mapping, but we want to know what is the source value that we have to actually put up that particular value. Like let's say for tax ID, where do we have to put the tax ID in the business partner so the DRC can pull it?
Okay.
So we are not changing the mapping for sure. Okay.
Whatever SAP is implemented. Now I got clarity, because the way
only the data
question was framed. Yeah. The question was framed.
This one representative name. Okay. On the invoice PDF, this is your statutory requirement. Like all of these fields have to be placed on the invoice. Okay. One of the requirement is representative name. My question is, I don't know where this is going to get fetched from.
Because when we, one second. If you look at that value 10th type of industry, when we looked at the Belgium, at the identification tab, there was an option to put up the industry of the customer, correct? But for Korea, you don't put it there. You put it on a customer specific announcement. That is a separate section given in Korea. Okay, so again, if DRC has mapped to a separate field, we are not put up the value.
We are not aware of idly.
Yeah, we are not aware of.
It might be already existing, but we have never used it in past. So how do we know that? And I'm already facing this. I'll be very honest. I'm actually facing this. Where to get this representative name from? It's a big. I stored it on. We discussed. I think I stored it in name 3 or name 4. Under BP, I thought, okay, let me just repurpose it for name 3 or name 4 as of. So you might be getting what challenge.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
And Rami, I'll go through that link. Thank you for sharing.
We send that link to Copilot and ask them to give the mapping. Let's see how much if Copilot is able to figure out.
Sorry, Copilot?
Send that link to Copilot and ask them to give you the XML mapping. Let's see how much Copilot can take in the Indian information.
Oh, Copilot. Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, let's continue. Sorry, Adil.
Okay, that is your this year's performance appraisal criteria. If you don't use Copilot, you will not meet expectation.
Use Joule instead. Use Joule instead. It will be more helpful in SAP terminologies and business context.
Is there a private link to Joule or we have to
No, Joule is chargeable. Everything that you ask.
Obviously, it is SAP. SAP always charge for everything.
Yeah, it's kind of a message-based charging. Like the number of
AI units. It would be AI unit, the number.
Yeah.
So you will frame one.
Do one thing. When you go to your learning hub license, when you go to the environment, there is one environment which is Joule, which has Joule enabled. So you go to learning hub environment which is Joule enabled, and then you can play around with Joule. Yeah.
Okay, I was not aware.
Yeah. Recently, SAP released that. I think this year only, where the learning hub environments has Joule enabled. Here, environments are Joule enabled. You can look at Joule specific. Those particular apps or tiles will be available.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's continue.
Yeah. So then I think we are okay with the data flow, right? Any questions you have looking at the architecture or the data flow? To summarize, like all the previous instances where we saw invoices comes from S/4HANA, then goes to eDocument framework, then through Cloud Connector, then to BTP, and then to the government agency SDL. Then the customer gets it.
Is there a slide like the comparison between the Belgium and Italy, like that gives more clarity actually?
I think initial level I talked about it.
Yeah, like this is the Belgium, this is the Italy, like one slide document. Can we have anything?
This is the one, Krishna, the 1.1.
This one?
Yeah. This basically talks about difference between Belgium, Italy, and in fact Germany. Because ultimately the framework remains the same. How do we configure within SAP? But in terms of the model, these are the three sort of things: clearing versus PayPal, which is in real time, and then post audit after delivery.
Okay. Fine with it, right? Can we go ahead? We were there in this part. We were talking about the data flow. So again, the response travels back from SDL to BTP, again back from Cloud Connector to eDocument framework, and you would be able to see the final status in your eDocument cockpit. Now, I do not have to explain again the whole existence of these components, why eDocument framework exists, why Cloud Connector exists, BTP, SDL. I think we are clear at this point because I believe we all know the flow now. So just a question that I think you were
just 1 second. The digital signature services that you have, do we have like a list of partners that we can embed for digital signature services? Because I think there could be different vendors, isn't it?
But it's already there in BTP iFlows, I believe. I've not gotten access to BTP, but I think they should be part of the whole
But we have
BTP
to
service as in.
It is a service or it is a one-time digital certificate, digital signature that we have to upload there?
Because every document that goes should follow some process, right, with validity, that this signature is valid till this date or.
No, I'm just thinking, let's say, I'm just talking about India example, like when we get our Form 16, correct? Are all Form 16 that we receive from, let's say, our respective organizations, those documents are digitally signed. So, so the process for that one is the company procures a digital signature, and then they embed the digital signature in Form 16 when it is generated by the respective ERP. Okay. So here I'm just thinking that
I got you. So thus, I think there is some provider called, which I could remember. Normally, all these providers should be recognized by the SDL, right? And I think there is one AG ID, something, if I could vaguely remember from long back. So you can search if some provider exists in Italy, AG ID something. So they are the recognized provider, and maybe they can provide these digital signature because they require the complete format from what is approved by SDL. So it's not just an SSL
so basically,
certificate.
there is an adapter, in CPI that does the digital signature. I just sent one link to you. That adapter they're going to use part of the CPI integration iFlow.
Okay.
So specific to each country, they will have it. Probably we may need to install certificate and configure it to pick the certificate. But it's an adapter, within the integration suite. So
and there are
but we didn't have this requirement for Belgium for people. I think this is only for Italy.
Yes. This is
Belgium. It doesn't go via integration suite, right? Belgium, it will go via DRC cloud.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is, if there is a requirement for a digital signature, we may probably have to embed it somewhere. But I don't think we have the requirement, and that's why we didn't do it. So, but for Italy, we have a requirement, so we have to embed that external link.
Okay, could be.
Yeah.
And there are some recognized service provider. I think there will be Aruba or even the government signature or postal service. Those
I think for most of this, I think we use DocuSign. I think for all digital signatures. So even the link that Rami pinged, I think I can see DocuSign here. So
yeah. I mean, I can look at the iFlow. Maybe later I'll find it. What is the adapter they're using it? So, but it looks like that's what.
So whenever we start thinking about Italy implementation, we also have to get a digital signature service embedded.
Yeah.
Okay. Good information. Thank you.
So then again, a question that why I think that this is now almost known. We have discussed it. Why somebody cannot directly send to SDL? Because in between, what's the need of CPI? I think we have discussed that enough. Now I have another question. I think I did not get that. Nobody shooted this question, so I am free to ask why. So here, is the cloud connector mandatory? Do you feel that the cloud connector is mandatory?
Yeah, I mean, you need it, right? Because to get the data from SAP backend to the CPI, you always need a cloud connector to securely retrieve the data and update back.
Okay, no other alternatives?
No other cloud connector is only to connect to the non-SAP system from BTP. So that's what we are using it. I'm not sure any other alternatives available.
Non-SAP or SAP?
It's non-SAP too. That's what we are using it. I mean, one of the use cases we have it. We have a DB integration that's sitting in non-SAP. So From
So,
CPA, we are connecting to the via cloud connector.
Fine. Yeah, why I'm raising this is for one part I'm sure, but I don't know how it works for private cloud. That's why. So for S/4HANA on-premise system, normally they have no alternative other than cloud connector. But what I've heard, I've not seen in my experience, but there is also for S/4HANA cloud, right? I'm not sure it's public cloud or private cloud. So BTP should connect directly. So maybe some options where BTP can directly connect. Either I don't know whether it would be public cloud or private, but that would
Okay.
not require cloud connectors in between.
Right. I mean, as long as BTP, they hosted Neo on Cloud Foundry environment, right? If even S4 on a public cloud hosted in Cloud Foundry, they both sit in the same data center. You may not need a cloud connector. As long as you are trying to connect to a backend on-prem, you need a cloud connector from BTP.
So that's why that point came in my mind. Just I thought of sharing.
Yeah, good.
Okay. So again, the same flow. It will continue till last country invoice posted. You will see that whatever be the end result, you would get saved in SAP database, and then BT triggers, user submits.
What about import scenario, export, like international scenarios? Italy to Italy is fine, but can SDA send their invoices to overseas customers also? Let's say India deal with Italy or whatever, like now that EU deal is signed, so there can be invoices that Italy will raise to India. So SDA can connect to international customers also, I would believe.
Not sure, but ideally it should. It will not be restricted if there is a mandate that India, if you are doing business. But then again, VAT IDs, and if at all you have all the data, because what I'm only considered means what I was only thinking is there are a lot of scenarios which I also talked about earlier of plant abroad scenario. So SAP separately handles that in their configuration. This plant abroad, you can search the plant abroad scenario in DRC. So there is where your company is not based in the other country. Let's say one example, like one company which is in India, but it is not have any legal presence or building or anything in Italy, but it is still doing or selling things in Italy. Then this can be a case where they are bound to follow the rules of Italy, but still they are not existing physically, or you understand, right? Kind of, they do not have a legal presence there with a particular VAT number or with a building or so. So maybe these kind of scenarios, ideally it's a connection. So anybody can send you have S/4HANA, no geographical restriction here. But whether that would be needed would be part of the legal requirement. If that is there, it can be achievable. And that's why I wanted you all to also explore the plant abroad scenario, because you may come up in your implementation any such scenario.
Okay.
In SAP terminology, they call it a plant abroad.
Plants abroad, plants abroad comes into play when you have warehouses, right? For example, Netherlands, there is a triangulation where it's like a drop shipment. Basically, the point is plants abroad comes into play when there is the materials and the warehouse involved, where you do a shipment, your order is executed in France, but your warehouse is somewhere in Netherlands, which happens quite often in EU, right? And you bill to France, but there is a material movement that involving your presence not there actually, right? Like a third party or something. But here, this is all financial transaction. How does it play? The plant abroad scenario, so does it even apply here when there is no materials involved, no warehouse involved, the DRC part of it?
Because I have seen in few countries, at least in financial transactions, it used to apply. I have seen many requirements in India which are particularly a plant abroad case. And that's at least very specifically, I did not go into, because I was involved in discussions and then these points came up that they have a requirement of plant abroad. They are very well into finance. They do not work more on the material movements and all, but I do not have an expertise there to exactly comment which exact scenario would hold up in which case. But I'm just giving, if at all you feel that maybe in any future countries you feel like, so there is also an option of plant abroad.
See, whenever we basically go with this particular implementation, obviously tax team will get involved and they will basically get a view from the experts, like the Deloitte and e-invoice of the world. They will basically say, confirm us which all scenarios are applicable, and then based on that we have to solution the problem. So, but yeah, I think there is no right way, because I was just thinking the other way around also. Like India, not a VAT registered country, will not have VAT registration, but we can also sell services to the customer. So what I'm thinking is SDA is a hard requirement, like, because I can directly send the invoice to the customer directly also, correct?
Yes,
Like
it's a hard requirement. It's a hard requirement for Italy.
So then, but if I don't have a VAT ID, how would they be able to get the details? Like, although from a customer perspective, I can have everything else, correct? I can have the transmission, I can have a unique transmission ID, I can have the sender's code, that 7-digit code that is required. But if I don't have the VAT ID, then how would they be able to pull up any documentation around that particular piece? How would they be able to accept and reject the data? So, I'm just thinking from that perspective. Import and export both scenarios may cause some. I'm sure there may be some way to figure out that particular piece, but yeah, I think we'll have to dig further on that point.
Okay. Moving ahead, then we have XML transformations that would happen in the integration suite. Then XML structure would be generated as per law. Then we have digital signature. So we have integration suites sign, which is there part of the integration suite, and then this would be kind of a legal binding which will apply there. Then submission to SDL. So signed XML will be sent to SDL. Web services, there would be a transmission ID generated, which will be a track of the whole transmission. Then STL validation would kick in, and then the response should be received, accept or reject. Then the customer delivery they have accepted would be routed. So some status is on that, and then the final status would be confirmed, and then the process would be completed when the delivery confirmation is received. So the terminologies initially, I think from status perspective, which I used accept, reject, was little misleading. So I think this is the flow.
Okay. RC means accept, NS means reject, and if accepted, SDA routes to the customer. Okay.
Yes.
Delivery confirmation received. Scroll down. Do we have the codes for delivery confirmation?
There should be in the beginning.
That's okay. That's okay. I think we discussed it. Because I saw 4 codes in that flow, but that's okay. When we look at the demo at that particular point of time, we can see those values.
Okay. So system-wise, I think just based on my knowledge, I put here whatever system we would need, and then notes as usual. What all notes would be applicable for Italy? And if there is optional or critical, without that it would not work. So that also I mentioned, so that if you want to get your systems ready for Italy, at least there may be other notes or a prerequisite that I might miss here, but at least to my knowledge, these are the notes which should help in setting up the system. And then your digital requirement that you were mentioning. So these are the requirement for digital certificate. They are the vendors and the process, which type of certificate would be accepted. So unsigned invoices are not an option at all for them. With DocuSign, I'm not sure if they would accept, but these are the few information that would collect.
Yeah,
this is what we're looking for.
Yeah. That is what I was looking for. Perfect. This is perfect.
Okay. So then few prerequisite on the registration part, that company should be registered. This is just to know how the choices and what SAP recommends. So these are the steps that needs to be done for registration. So I've also mentioned a tip that if you're using SAP Integration Suite, then SAP typically handles all these registrations part of onboarding. You can contact SAP to just validate whether this is there in place or not, because this is normally they do it for you, because it's a channel where they need to be involved directly. So okay.
Gotcha.
Then again, all the system now with all the regulations
So
and
amongst
things.
these three, like which one we are going for? The first one.
This you need to check. I cannot say with
Okay,
which
the
option
CPI one.
works.
Which one is the CPI one? All
of
three
this.
required?
So So SD channel registration is required. There are multiple options to do it, but ideally, SAP Integration should handle this for you. Channel registration part of it.
Okay, because option 3 it says BTP. Okay. Because either it's CPI or it's BTP, correct?
No, that's both same. Inside, so CPI, or we say integration suite, resides inside BTP, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then again, these are the configurations. To start with, switch, which you already know. We have done, I think, switch activation. This is one-time activity, which we need to do. SAP provides the switch, but we need to activate the switches there.
So you already did in the training client, or we have to do?
Yes, I have done it already.
Already done? Okay.
I think these configurations, let's do these configurations in our DM client. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As we progress through this one, I think let's pace it more. And then I want to like probably this or Saudi, because anyways we have to get those enabled, that and Korea. Let's enable these particular configurations and do step by step here, because these I think the content was available there when we checked yesterday, correct? Not for Belgium, but at least from CPA perspective, these iFlows and everything is available. Let's try to do this configuration ourselves and figure out what are the challenges that we are getting. So instead of, I mean, because anyways we have another parallel system, correct? Like the training environment becomes our reference system. We can look at the details, and then let's do this configuration system so that at least we know what are the steps that is there. Okay. Before the training, you guys we can connect and then figure out. Obviously not because we haven't gone into the configuration part, but yeah, before that.
But most of this configuration would remain same that we had done it for Belgium. There will be only change in the format, but yeah, we can cover the configuration and then also you can try out parallelly.
Yeah. Let's do a brush up of the configuration of the way, because we can then open our systems and parallelly review all the configurations if those are there or not. We can probably do sort of like a working session for configurations step by step. Because once we do, because what we can all understand here is we just have to learn about the configuration once. Once we do it once, then we can configure the entire world. There is only few nuances that is coming into play that we can figure out as we go.
Exactly. Yes. And that's the beauty of the framework which they have brought in, that I was talking about in the first. I think now you all are realizing that. That's why I mentioned a clear word that once you do it for one country, 80% of things gets done for any other country. Knowing the nuances.
But let's not tell our management, okay? Because then they will say that, okay, you have implemented once, then you should have all countries enabled within next month. So we'll still take like a couple of months just to implement, because we also have to do testing. So
yeah, but it will not be that like talking about these things, and now only we saw there are a number of functional challenges to get things done. But the best part would be you would have anyway the SAP channel or support to get help via incidents, tickets, or those sites. So that way anyway, there I have shared the troubleshooting guide. So normally SAP person who any incident would also goes through this at the first step, and then they provide resolution. So I think this could be the first reference point for you.
Gotcha.
Maybe another idea, if you have something like Copilot, or you can put this as a context, and maybe then they can precisely give you an answer of the issues that you're encountering.
That is exactly what I wanted to do. I want to create our own Joule for DRC.
And yeah, there are options through different tools that you have, agentic tools, Klein or Cursor or etc., which use underlying LLMs like Claude or ChatGPT. They do it actually. It's quite MCPs, basically MCP servers you can create with your context, with your rules, and then you would get the exact answer that you are looking for.
Yep.
Okay.
I had a small query more. Like I can see every time we are talking about sales orders, does it matter sales order versus sales contract and then invoice?
I'm not sure. I have only heard of sale order. I'm not sure of sales contract. What exactly
Mostly
it is.
no impact, but only the contract is nothing but order, right?
Doesn't matter of niche. It should not matter, because end of the day, the integration starts at the invoice and the FI. It doesn't count the contract, and
It
the order
doesn't
doesn't
count
come
contract versus orders.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you achieve to that particular problem, student? Doesn't matter. Like even if you use an interface to create an invoice, and after that you connect to DRC, that is also.
Yeah. Because in all of these systems, they are creating order, then they're creating schedule lines, then deliveries, and then I think receiving the product, then they are creating invoice. Actually,
if we want to create contract, I think we have to do a lot of configuration and training client.
Otherwise, I'll learn how to get these delivery piece done.
Use that configuration page as a reference, okay, and then and we can basically do our own. We can do configuration in our system.
Yes.
So maybe one idea. If you have your BTP person, you have a BTP account, as you said, maybe you can involve them also to do an end-to-end configuration to BTP and see how things work.
Of course, yeah. Venkat is there. They are the BTP experts.
Yeah, they both.
Then I think we could have a end-to-end picture, because I am not an expert in BTP. So maybe we can together see if something gets stuck. But overall, it would make sense to see an end-to-end picture, how things would work.
One thing, actually, basically there is a version incompatibility, right? The DM1 is we are on 2022. The one that we looking at in their demo system is 2023 from an activation point of view, right? The BC sets for the content.
Nothing will affect much, because anyway SAP does not, I would say, make an incompatible change or anything very new. They add functionality, but as per configurations and working part of it, I don't think so 2022 or 2023 will have any effect, at least to this scenario, to these scenarios that we are working upon.
Okay, meaning like basically it's the content, right? You have to activate the content.
Yes,
and
content would be same everywhere. It will not be depending upon 2023 or 2022. So you are talking about the switch, right? This is licensing part of it. So it's a licensing part of it, maintaining countries. So SAP would know this feature has been. So they moved to switch-based features quite long. That particular feature you need to activate, will bill you accordingly, and in system you will be able to see those features. That is there.
Right. The basic question is early on when we talked about, right? So right now some of the functionality or may not be there in DM1. DM1 is our system, right? Our dev system, okay, which is 2022. The one that we have been navigating.
Some functionality like, can you give one example?
That is what I'm asking you. So basically, what is the delta that let's say like e-cockpit functionality, some part of the cockpit functionality, or a background processor or a process manager or anything like that. What is the delta that you know of between 22 and 23?
I don't know exactly any difference that in these scenarios this functionality will cause. That's my thing. I've worked on all the 2025, 2023, 2022, so I don't feel that anything is a challenge here.
Yeah, that is fine. I mean, it's just, as long as everything what we expect is actually there in, both the versions, it should be okay. But I'm assuming there would be some delta, right? Between 20 and 2022 and 2023. But
Some
I think at the
difference might
core
be
level,
there,
it
but,
should not.
yeah,
It should not make a much difference, actually.
each version will have some difference, but it manageable.
Yeah, some additional features, some more flexibility, or some good look and feel, or some added features. Those
Krishna
things
got converted from ECC to HANA. He didn't even got trained in HANA. So
No, I did the big NewGL upgrade with it. The huge big NewGL upgrade I did for the World Bank. So that was the huge.
No. I'm saying that you didn't got formally trained in HANA, correct? You learned on the job.
Yeah, even that's a big example. What I was giving, the World Bank I implemented for the cockpit, like running the regular ECC to NewGL. That time, like 5 years back, that's the major thing. So the in-fly, I never had any training on the NewGL implementation, NewGL migration.
There's so many success stories, Krishna. If we start counting, I think we'll be there for so many hours. Like, we learned TIS, now we're learning DRC, then we learned like so many other things. So yeah.
Even Central Finance I implemented for Hershey's, like before leaving there. Like. So these are all learning and implementation there itself.
I think before we all get retired here, I think I'm sure we're going to implement CFIN here also.
Yeah, that was the big one for the Hershey's, the CFIN. We have a lot of regional-wise SAP systems, and the SAP systems are there. That's what we call the regional-wise SAP systems to CFIN. So these are all learning. Like, this is very interesting. DRC is another, maybe after a year or so, learning a lot of things here again. This is going to be another big one for us.
Any reason like the organization is not going to public cloud and then doing all these on-premise investments and then working out on things by themselves? Like you talked about automation, that your organization is more from automation frame of mind, that they want everything automated without.
So Advay, the public cloud version of SAP basically suited for organization which is like more like a standardized process and like probably slightly a small scale company, but like the company. See, there are two stark problem in Moody's. Not problem, I would say, like how we are set up. We are basically utilizing SAP as a global global ERP platform for everything and anything that we are doing. Because the nature of business that we do, like bond rating and everything, we need to be present in all geographies and all major cities. So the length and breadth of our implementation is very huge. Like the compliance that is basically enforced on top of us. Plus the uniqueness of our business, like our financial services business, I think SAP as a product is very good when it comes about like manufacturing and anything to do with manufacturing and others. Okay, but when it comes to like service industry, I think it is still an evolving product. What we have seen. So to how like and because of that, we are basically subjected to a lot of compliances for which we try not to do customized, but we still have to do some customization just to adhere to that particular compliance. And that's why I think our management took a strategic decision. We still want to do like a cloud first strategy. So instead of doing like on-prem, we did private cloud. So we are in SAP RISE with private cloud, but I doubt anytime future that we can basically migrate to public cloud. That would be a very distant dream.
Because I'm a little surprised that when you said that it's not in financial industry, I think very much, I would say a lot of financial industries are using this product for, I think, long time. Standard Chartered Bank is there, Deutsche Bank is there. Then we had, even maybe it's different than Moody's, but Bloomberg is there. They have a lot of already.
Bloomberg may be the one. Bloomberg may be the one which may be slightly more closer to us. But when you talk about like parallel, like our competition, like when you talk about years, like our
I'm talking about financial service industry. So
financial services again, Bank of America, these are all just banks. So bank has a very different sort of like ball game. It is See,
ratings, risk, DRC compliance.
Yeah. Because our lengthen, again, we are not very consolidated business. We are actually doing a lot of small things. We are in AI space. We are in analytical space. We are also doing products. We are in risk. The sustainability is also coming into play. Obviously, bond rating and that particular pieces are better and better. So we have actually put our hands in so many different things. Whichever becomes like a hot cake, we basically want to get our hands messy. So, but then what happens is when you basically talk about like these things, if you talk about from an SAP context perspective, we are still a small fish. They will only invest in their product for players which are like bigger and it's more generic across the board. Like if they create like a banking financial ERP, they can sell it to any big financial like any banks. But for us, there is only 2 or 3 countries in the world which basically does what we do. Like we have S&P, Moody's, and probably Fitch in to some degree. That's it. We don't have much less than money. That's why SAP doesn't want to spend that much money just to create like a sort of like a give us something which is more tailored to
your business. Got it. I got the picture.
On the context from what you know, because you have seen businesses and other multiple ERPs also, what is the core component actually from a business point of view? What Moody's needs and what SAP doesn't have content wise?
I think from a content perspective, I think we dilute a lot of our things when we basically implement SAP DC. If SAP becomes slightly better on the sales side, their sales cloud, and it basically gives you all those particular flexibility to configure custom pricing procedures, because the pricing procedures that the pricing engine that we have within Moody's is itself is $1 billion asset. How do we rate our bond and everything, that is very integrated to our pricing engine, and that is why we have a lot of institutional knowledge, and nobody can configure that in that particular landscape. So unless SAP becomes slightly more big or gives more flexibility, I think we'll still be in that particular space of not moving to
that is one area. Yeah, agree. That is one area. What else? Because every sales cycle is different from industry, right? No matter what you build a solution from a product point of view, you won't be able to cater to a specific industry 100%. Like for example, every sales cycle is different. That's why Salesforce is so successful, right? They're able to penetrate across the industry. They built a solution
because their system is like completely open. You can basically customize the heck out of it. So it is not that
with the same, I would say, trajectory. SAP is extension. I think it's underrated, but the extensions that SAP is also providing in almost all of this product is really little undervalued, because I don't know, they don't talk it much, but it's very much extensible. All the products.
See, if you look at the overall trajectory till when in 2019, I think we were the first customers who were actually using HEC. Because before that, all companies, because of data security and otherwise, everybody was on-prem. Everybody was actually hosting SAP solutions on-prem because they wanted to customize. I think Moody's with Accenture. I mean, we were the first customers to actually implement SAP on private cloud. And then obviously SAP has a long history of rebranding the same thing again and again. So they now call it RISE. But earlier it was SAP HEC. So yeah. And then when Kristen came, his strategy was, because earlier they were losing left and center with Oracle. NetSuite was killing them in all the spare, and whatever that was remaining, Dynamics was killing their market. So then they said that we need.
My system is forcing me to drop, rebooting. I will be logging again as soon as I reboot my system.
So that is on the infrastructure side. That is okay, like how you host your infrastructure. Even though we are on HEC, we really don't use SAP cloud version of it, right? It is just the hosting part of it. Your solution is still an on-prem solution, right? Yeah. Whatever that you do is basically an on-prem version of it. Correct.
No, but I think I'm just coming to that particular point that SAP, because SAP, Christian as a CEO, he basically saw an opportunity, because what he did, he wanted to replicate the Workday model, because what Workday was doing is a cloud first, But he was seeing that Workday was actually getting a lot more success with different customers. Even being a cloud first product, public cloud without customizations, people were still getting a lot of traction there. So he then he did a pivot. He did a pivot on cloud. That okay, we'll do first with the pivot of cloud, and then every year they are doing 4 feature pack release. They are now making the public cloud so robust that they are doing 4 feature pack release every quarter. They will have a features released on the cloud, and then they want to replicate the same success that they had on the public cloud on private. So they then, I think 23 when we did our upgrade 23, correct? At that particular point of time, when I was actually talking to SAP Customer Success Manager, they basically introduced us to the concept of extensibility. Then our dev team actually got trained in extensibility. I paid for those particular invoices, and then we implemented those extensibility when we did DRP. So those extensibility concepts are not that old. So I think they are still maturing. Because then they also introduced the clean core approach, that they are saying that keep your core, keep SAP intact, and then whatever custom process that you want to do, you do it either in cloud or we will basically give you a way to actually customize so it doesn't touch the core model. Because one of the big problems that SAP had is fragmentation. Customers were not getting upgraded to the latest version, and then and that is a very classic example that happened in Moody's. PeopleSoft HR was the best product for HR system in the world, but over the period of time we didn't have version upgrade our system, and then over the period of time our systems become old, and it didn't have that flash that we required, and then we moved to success. So same thing, Windows basically consolidated the entire business and forced everybody to upgrade to Windows 10, and then they did Windows 11, and then they're going to do it with Windows 12. So, and that's what SAP is now to reduce that fragmentation, move out all ECC customers to HANA, and then consolidate HANA in a one big and force customers to force upgrade as a have like different versions of SAP lingering around there. Because even from their perspective, they have to support the old product, and then support becomes a lot of challenge.
Right.
Market competitiveness becomes a big problem.
And they're doing it
Actually,
1709 and 1909 under support. So they always say they always increase the
actually
year on
from
year.
a supportability point of view, if you look at the metric, probably SAP does a very good job. Actually, they keep multi-year support when compared to the other vendors. If you look at Oracle, for example, they are much more aggressive in forcing customers and they're de-supporting it. SAP has a longer time window for a product release. Back to your point, actually, my question was more towards this lecture host, different flavoring, different branding that happens across the board. To your point, I think in Moody's, even otherwise also, PeopleSoft was not able to go to the customers, not able to move to the next release because Oracle killed them, right? Because Oracle acquired PeopleSoft, they literally almost stopped it from ready to do anything with PeopleSoft. Same with JD Edwards also. So only thing what they picked up was NetSuite. They acquired it and they kind of like promoted it because it's a cloud product. But going back to the original discussion, so I think I board with you what you said, because for a service industry, and it also depends upon how the original implementation was actually visualized, right? So SAP is actually much wider product, so to speak. For example, for the Salesforce pricing engine, like what you talked about, there is a product called Variant Configurator, right? Within SAP landscape, VC, they call it as VC. Much more on the material side, of the manufacturing side, where you pull all of your products and BOM and can do a very complex pricing model. That was, I don't even think that anybody would have looked at it actually, because it is a service industry. Variant configuration never probably came into their mind when talked about. I don't know whoever did the initial design. And also the fact that product like Salesforce, they allow you to do all this pricing model. The product is built for that. It's an open-ended architecture, right? From all the way from front end of the CRM all the way to the sales with the back channel.
But,
go ahead. You're saying
but when you talk about the salespeople, Krishna, there is another challenge there. Like the UI, I think SAP now have started to realize that they cannot look at old GUI screens. I think they also are now pivoting towards
heavy investment in UX.
Yeah, because UI is not a strong suit of SAP. I think we can all agree on that particular piece. At least, like we being a we being solution consultant, I mean, we live and breathe SAP, so it doesn't matter. Like we can look at we can because we are so familiar with those things. I think the old SAP guys, they even hate Fiori because they have invested their entire life in GUI. But now, the user adoption and the UI, I think Salesforce is ahead, and that's why I think they are doing a lot of pivot on cleaning up Fiori and pushing Fiori a lot more. Whenever I don't know if you got a chance to actually go to Sapphire, but when you go to Sapphire, you will not even see a single GUI screen in any of the demos. Even when you sit on the product configuration demos with the SAP specialist, they give you like they try to give you all new screens, everything new. Like they will not there is hardly any demo that they will show you where they will have GUI. Everything is web based. And what they did on top of that is they acquired a company called WalkMe. With WalkMe, they basically integrated WalkMe with SAP. Then the user adoption is very easy. You don't have to do anything. WalkMe will like what is the traditional method of training an end user if they don't know a product. You basically create job aids with the step-by-step instructions, and then they will basically follow that particular document to do it. Now with WalkMe, what they do it is you basically run it is a guide. What is a navigation? You run it, and then they will basically guide you each and every step of the way. Click there, like put up a customer ID, like put up account number, hit submit. So it is all beautifully integrated within the product, and nobody has to do anything, not in a single documentation. So again, heading towards the right direction, but yeah, it's going to take slightly more time, like probably in a couple of years. I think SAP will be there for sure with all the UI UX players.
There's a lot of investment on UX.
UI, this will never be able to compete with other players. These are all new generation of product, right? Salesforce
but slowly how things would change is now people wouldn't have to even see UI, like for any work. There would be automatic agents and everything would be so that you don't have to even see the screens or interact with these screens. Like for example, when you open for analytics, we used to see scenes, understand. Now whatever information you need would come exactly as is. Plus, all the process would be anyway automated. All the normal screen processes and everything. So slowly, again, the whole UX thing is getting diluted, and this whole agents are coming up. Interesting time ahead. Let's see how things would.
Yeah, they try, but the Fiori what we have, it is actually used to be called as SAP Portal, right? That came like when 2003, 4, around that time, 5. We are talking about 20 years.
They used to say GUI like screen. They don't even call them Fiori. They used to call
it is Portal actually. SAP Portal. That was Enterprise EP, Enterprise Portal. Yeah,
business
that is BSP, Business Server Pages. But the product was EP, Enterprise Product Portal. Then that has become Fiori. That was totally web-based, but now if they run within SAP framework itself, they try to do some, combination of GUI and web. Anyway, I mean, that is beside the point. But actually, and also product positioning too, right? Like I was saying earlier, it is so strong in manufacturing because it is primarily built for European market. Okay, right? Yes. This is a European company. Everything is actually, there is a less of a service, more of a manufacturing. All the automakers or, all the manufacturing, it is all centered around Europe. The product is actually originated in Europe. The mindset, the way it is built, the technology stack, everything actually looks like very, very European. If you look at, let's say, a product like Oracle, and it's very, particularly for Indian guys, is very to it because you see a hierarchical model. You have a header table, you have a detail, and the screens will lay out and whatnot. Whereas SAP, I mean, they're like flat, they just store it data in table, which they don't have any relations also. And it's actually very old school mainframe COBOL type of structure. So the product is mainly geared for manufacturing. It was never meant for a service business. Obviously, it is extended because they have to expand to the North American market and whatnot. That's why Oracle and other ERPs are so strong in US. or compared to the European market. But of course, they did their leadership, actually, McDermott and those people, when they are CEOs, they took it to the nth degree and next level. They captured almost all major US companies. They use SAP, oil and gas, and they built very strong industry verticals, ISUs or.
Bill's leadership was seriously excellent. Now he did it with ServiceNow as well when he joined.
Exactly, he took the same thing. Whatever he was successfully executed in SAP, is able to replicate that success in ServiceNow. I mean, that company has become amazingly successful now, just because of the knowledge and know-how, market penetration.
But I hate ServiceNow, for the record. So no.
See, I am with you. I am with you for the incident.
Whatever you can say, nobody can. I would say, convince me to actually go.
It's a so lost UI that navigation takes around 15 minutes to at least look into the incident, or you want to at least raise an incident. My God, it's
but look at the adoption though. Look at the market penetration. I mean, you don't hardly see any organization which don't have ServiceNow. Same way like Atlassian, Jira. You hardly find any company which don't have Jira.
They don't even add a panel because Atlassian can't touch ServiceNow because when you look at only at the lens of incident, then Atlassian can be there, but. ServiceNow is a very big product. I mean, you can basically you can customize it. The main thing why everybody use ServiceNow is for the asset management. For assets,
for the CMDB unparalleled. Everybody uses for the CMDB
because they didn't even have that particular feature. And when Atlassian only had Jira software, they didn't even have JSM. People. I think our finance COE, we were the first, I would say, company who implemented JSM as a solution, because at that particular point of time, I'm talking about 2019, when I talked to my peers internally within Moody's, I said that we have JSM. They'll say Jira software. They said that your screen looks very different to our screen. I was like, because we are different. We are talking about different products. Although it is Atlassian, but we are in Jira Service Management, you are in Jira Software. So that's why the screens looks different, and we have a lot more. But I think now they're investing so heavily on competing with ServiceNow because A, they went to cloud first, and B, they are now every feature release that you see for Atlassian, they are doing in asset and CMDB space. For all ITIL for business process, that is investing heavily there just to make it. In fact, now they are going to segregate their product. They're going to create a brand new product just for assets. So I think they recently announced it this year, and it's going to come pretty soon. So, and I would not be surprised if Moody's will switch from ServiceNow to Atlassian. So it may come. That news may come this year.
Yeah. The success of this comes actually the way that they overthrown traditional legacy product, like they used to have their CMDB product, right? That was the leader that time.
They still have.
They do, but nowhere near with ServiceNow, right? Nowhere near like they one time they were controlling the market, BMC. They were the leaders. So, but now, I mean, I think with all the cloud version of it and ease of deployment, whatever that you do, but basically it's a product positioning, right?